2 blue blood programs, a dozen national titles between them, and far too many all-time memorable moments to count.
Let's get it back now. Let's get it back.
Long ago, they were cast for leading roles in college football history.
We're gonna go. You deserve to be number one, and that's what you are.
But it's been a while since either stood at the top. 27 seasons since golden glory for the Irish, while 2005's Longhorn pinnacle now seems like the last glimpse of a burnt orange sunset. These two schools are always inspired by their distant past, yet intently focused on the present. That's because their future begins right now. Notre Dame.
There's pride in Notre Dame football.
Texas.
You got the spotlight. What more do you want?
Collide in prime time tonight. ABC Primetime College Football presented by Capital One. And what a scene with Notre Dame here. They have packed it in. The locals wondering, will there be a true freshman starting quarterback? Holly's with the man who has the answer. Good evening, Holly.
Well, good evening. Coach Strong, you told me a couple of days ago you were losing sleep about how and when to tell your quarterback who'd be starting. So when did you tell them and who will it be?
Well, I spoke with him just the other day, and you know what? You look at the competition, Holly, they both competed well. You know, early it was Swoops, then Bouchel made a move. So both of them are going to get to play.
Started their first game here at Texas. So what gives you the impression that Bouchel's ready for this moment?
Well, he has enough around him. He has this full support of this football team. And then when you name that quarterback, you got to name someone. Respect, he has a lot of confidence, and we believe in him wholeheartedly.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So we will see the young man from Arlington, Lamar. As Notre Dame won the toss, they will receive Mitchell Becker to kick off for Texas.
So we know one starting quarterback, but we still don't know the other one yet.
That's a good point.
We'll find out that one here in a minute.
As C.J. Sanders from just inside the 5. And he was met hard at the 20, falls forward to the 22. Breckenhager with the special teams tackle, and it will be Deshaun Kaiser, Todd, the junior quarterback, who started 11 games and had 8 wins a year ago. More experienced of the two quarterbacks.
Well, he came in the Virginia game when Malik Zaire, the starter, was injured and ended up throwing a game-winning touchdown pass late to Will Fuller and played extremely well for a guy that wasn't anticipating starting 11 games.
And Kaiser to pass to open up the season, and a shot downfield where it is defended and incomplete. He was looking for St. Brown. Haynes had coverage. The impact players, and with Notre Dame on offense, will start with their left tackle. Mike McGlinchey moves over from right tackle this year. All the way too early draft boards have him as a first rounder himself. St. Brown is the receiver you just saw, and Malik Jefferson continues to be a rising defensive star for Texas.
Well, the real challenge for Texas will be defending the Notre Dame run.
And here it is with Folston, who gets off a good run, and he's free. Tarian Folston finally taken down by Malik Jefferson, and what a start for Tarian Folston. 54-yard run.
Well, you have to account for all gaps. Now, the outside man is going to be concerned with the quarterback, but nobody is going to take this gap. And Folston sees it, and that's just too big of a hole, and one missed tackle by Nashawn Hughes, and a huge running play to start the game for Notre Dame.
And to consider what happened a year ago with Folston when he tore his ACL against Texas. So Josh Adams comes in to replace him. And Adams able to muscle his way to the 19-yard line. 7th year for Brian Kelly with the Irish, the first coach to take Notre Dame to a bowl game in each of his first 6 years.
Now, and the one thing Brian Kelly knows is that the best way to take energy and life out of a crowd like this is to run the football with success. And that's why they're going to challenge Texas right away.
2nd and 5. Kaiser keeps it. He was tripped up. Did make his way down to the 17-yard line. It was Poona Ford in the middle who got to him.
Now, Poona Ford is a really fun guy to watch. He doesn't fit the bill of a defensive tackle, about 5'10", a little over 300 pounds, but he plays with great technique and quickness.
As Kaiser checks over on 3rd and 4.
See, with both of these quarterbacks, the ability to run is a factor on 3rd down and particularly in the red zone.
Folston, I mean, he had lots of room before any contact was made as he will move the chains.
In the 7 games that Texas lost last year, they gave up an average of 230 yards per game rushing. This is just power football. The dominant side of the Notre Dame line is the left side. That was a double team between McGlinchey, the tackle, and Nelson, the guard, and an easy 1st down.
Irish offense rolling early here. Kaiser at the helm. To the end zone. St. Brown, touchdown Irish. Equanimous St. Brown at 6'5", up and brings it home.
Got away with a little bit of a push at the end. Devontae Davis is big by corner standards. He's 6'2", but as you mentioned, St. Brown is 6'6", and a beautiful throw to the outside shoulder by Deshaun Kaiser, and Notre Dame strikes first. You throw the football there, it's impossible to defend.
There's the pylon cam look. And a very athletic EQ St. Brown. I think he's going to be a breakout star. As Justin Yoon tacks on the extra point. So Kaiser with the big run from Folston and the finish from St. Brown. And the Irish take a touchdown lead and strike fight first early here in Austin. Now, here's the moment that the locals have been waiting for. The debut of the true freshman Shane Buechele.
Well, he's a very talented guy, had an excellent high school career, graduated in January, enrolled early, and went through spring football here and really lit it up in the spring. And I just think his skill set fits the offense that Sterling Gilbert, the new coordinator who came from Tulsa, kind of originally came out of the Art Briles coaching tree, was a GA for Briles at Houston, and Buechele just fits skill set wise what they want to do offensively better.
Here's the new look offense, 10 personnel, and a good start to it with Deontay Foreman moving the chains right away with a 13-yard run.
And tempo is the thing that Sterling Gilbert brings more than anything. Not the X's and O's, the tempo, playing fast.
Snapping with 31 on the play clock. That is up tempo. And Texas with another 5 yards forward.
The good thing that this offense has for a young quarterback is 2 powerful running backs to turn and hand it to. The running game very important.
First pass of the career of Shane Buechele, and it's complete to John Burt. And they're past midfield already. 13-yard reception.
And when you run tempo, you better make a couple first downs to get momentum. And this is a perfect drive for the young quarterback and the Texas offense.
Here's Foreman again. At 249 pounds, surging to the 35-yard line.
Nice job cutting inside the block of his pulling guard, Patrick Vahe, on that play.
Buechele with time, launching it downfield to the end zone, just beyond the outstretched arms of Ja'Cory Warwick.
Incomplete, Joe, but what that does is send a message to Brian Van Gorder and the Notre Dame defense that if you fall asleep, this offense will attack you vertically. That's, if you watch Baylor play, they love to run the football and they love to throw the ball vertically. That was incomplete, but it sent the right message.
3rd and 2. Quick pass complete. Another first down. John Burt.
You see how quick the ball gets out of Buechele's hands. Again, that's what you have to have in the passing game portion of this offense. Right now, a beautiful blend and mixture of run-pass.
That's Kent Perkins, the big right guard.
Perkins, a real leader.
To get up at the end of that last play. He's the most experienced offensive lineman.
He's been a real leader this camp. Very vocal senior. Conditioning, when you change to this kind of offense, conditioning is huge, and the position group that it affects the most is that offensive line, and they've made a real commitment to being able to play this tempo.
Chris Warren comes in now as the back flanking Buechele, and he will get the call, but he's unable to slither free against that Notre Dame front. Sophomore from Houston, Elijah Rodriguez, stepped in to replace Kent Perkins. As Texas once again quick to that line. A 2nd and 8 now. And Warren bounces free and then is met again, as it was Avery Sebastian cleaning that up. So Trank will get involved as well. So a 3rd and 6 for the Horns. 9th play of the drive. A true freshman, Shane Buechele.
Find a matchup here if you're Buechele.
Over the middle, he threw it a bit behind Jake Oliver.
Yeah, if that ball was on the front side of Oliver, maybe he's able to keep running or stretching for the first down. But because it was thrown a little bit behind, it slowed his momentum down, and he was hit short of the sticks.
4th and 1, no hesitation. Deontay Foreman in at running back. First down, Texas.
What an important play for this Texas offense. New system, freshman quarterback, and your head coach says we're going for it on 4th and 1, and we're going to go for it by running power football. They pull the guard, and you got a 250-pound back that just kind of finds a way to knife in there for the first down.
Buechele to the end zone again. Score it! Amani Foreman! Fire it, Smokey! Cannon shot! Longhorns on the board!
Armani Foreman is the twin brother of Deontay Foreman. And he said, you know what? I'm going to show up in this game too. A beautiful throw to the outside shoulder. Does he get the foot down? Yes, he does. That is beautiful footwork by the receiver and a perfectly placed ball by the quarterback. Cole Luke, the most experienced defender on this Notre Dame defense, was the guy beaten in man coverage. They're going to take a look at this, I'm sure. But there was no bobble on the catch at all.
Ruling on the field is catch and touchdown. Previous play is under review.
We have seen both quarterbacks make a throw to the corner of the end zone that is unguardable. When you throw it over the outside shoulder towards that back pylon, it can't be defended. Either your guy catches it or it goes harmlessly out of bounds.
Let's take a look and see if he had firm control.
If he has control and the ball touches the ground, it's okay, as long as the ball is not moving as he goes to the ground.
As long as the player retains that firm control and it doesn't move during his action at the end, he's fine.
After further review, rolling it on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Both offenses scored by throwing touchdown passes, but it was set up by their ability to run the football and put this defense, both defenses, on their heels.
Trent O'Mang with the point after. You like offense? We got offense in this Sunday night main event. Shane Buechele. They wanted to see him. They're getting a good look.
What's it like?
As we see Malik Zaire getting ready to come in for his first series. He was the starter in this game last year, went 19 of 22 for over 300 yards, played a brilliant game, and then was injured in the second game of the season.
Only 3 incompletions against Texas last year, and 2 of them were drops by his receivers. Folston, this time gobbled up by Omenahu.
The difference, beyond the obvious difference between these two Notre Dame quarterbacks, Kizer is a right-hander, Zaire is a left-hander. They both are capable runners, but Zaire is a gifted runner. He has the ability to extend plays and make special plays with his feet, more so than Kizer does. Kizer the better pocket thrower, but Zaire is gifted when it comes to running the football.
Hands off again to Folston.
Much better start to this series in defending the run by Texas. They gave up 65 yards rushing in that first scoring drive, and on 2 rushing plays in this drive, a much more stout front.
Vance Bedford, defensive coordinator for Texas, said they've been working on communication. And this spot, getting off the field, 3rd downs.
Texas showing man coverage.
Zaire steps up in the pocket, tries to just throw it forward that time as the pressure got to him with Paul Boyette.
Ruling on the field, incomplete forward pass, 4th down.
Well, we mentioned Kent Perkins being a leader on that offensive line. Paul Boyette, the senior defensive tackle, number 93, spins right in to the quarterback and then does a great job of wrapping up Zaire around the waist and not letting him skip out of the pocket.
So Tyler Newsome on to punt. And Ja'Cory Warwick, the senior, back to return. As Newsome turns this one over, drives him all the way back to the 12-yard line where he is met right away.
Now, pretty good football player down there on the special teams, your tailback Josh Adams.
Great coverage by Adams. Big punt from Newsome.
Another ABC's Primetime College Football presented by Capital One. The Quicksilver card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back. Every purchase, everywhere. And in part by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
Todd, this is the 100th year of Bevo. We got a new Bevo out there today.
It was fun watching him walk in. I mean, he was definitely in charge. I don't know how many there were handlers he had, but Bevo 15 was the one calling the shots on how fast he was going to get himself to that pen.
He is cared for by that student-led group, the Silver Spurs. Deontay Foreman, he puts down that shoulder at 249 pounds. He's only going one direction, 5 yards for Foreman.
And those are all wins in this run game. And that's great balance. That's 7 runs and 5 passes now to start this game for Texas's offense.
Watch that play clock down in the bottom right corner, and there is a flag coming in as Texas tries to go fast.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 76 offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, right before he took the field for the first time, Shane Buechele was so calm. I was standing right next to him. He's the first freshman to start the opener since 1944. Think about this. It's rare and unusual. But he went over, gave Sterling Gilbert a big hug, his new offensive coordinator, totally calm. and that calm demeanor is carrying over to his offense right now.
No doubt about it, Holly. What an impressive start on that opening drive. And nearly tackled for a loss that time as James Onwalu came in.
Boy, he took a great course to the football. No wasted steps upfield, read the play, and came right downhill for the tackle from behind.
And he got the honor of wearing that #1 jersey tonight, handed out by Brian Kelly.
This is where the young quarterback has to be smart. If it's not there, don't try to force anything.
3rd down and 8. He's going to take a shot for Burt. Right off his hands. Buechele laid it right in.
Well, I like this kid's arm now. That's the 3rd vertical shot they've tried in this game. They're only 1 for 3, but that one's on Burt. He's a track guy. He's got great speed. He had separation from the corner, Coleman, and that's just a catch that needs to be made. John Burt, the leading returning receiver, had a chance for a big play right there.
Instead, it is Michael Dixon ready to punt away, and C.J. Sanders can give the Irish great field position here as he's set up near the 45. Calls for the fair catch all the way back inside the 30. 58-yard punt with a 4.9 hang time just when they needed it most. Hey, this great opening weekend of college football continues Monday night with Ole Miss and Florida State, and coverage will begin at 7 Eastern on ESPN with College Football Countdown. Big expectations with Dalvin Cook and the Noles this year.
Yeah, they're loaded. You know, the big question for them was going to be quarterback, what kind of productivity they'd get. McGuire hurt, Francois the starter, but they are talented all across the board on both sides of the ball.
Deshaun Kaiser back out for the Irish. Already a touchdown pass for Kaiser tonight. They go empty on 1st down. And Kaiser's able to get it complete to Torrey Hunter Jr.
Torrey Hunter Jr., one of the 5 Texans on this Notre Dame roster, out of Prosper, Texas.
Adams with a 1st down for the Irish. A 7-yard run for Josh Adams.
Well, what you're seeing with both of these teams is you're seeing personnel groups and formations that look like passing formations, but they spread the defense out with the ability to run the football. Now, this is an empty set, but don't be surprised if the quarterback doesn't run a draw either.
Kaiser inside screen, nowhere to go for St. Brown. Well defended by Jason Hall.
Yeah, Jason Hall read that immediately. Sometimes you call that little underneath screen hoping for a blitz. It was not a blitz, and it was well read by Jason Hall.
As Zaire looks on, and Kaiser faces 2nd and 10. Folston had to try to cut back, and Hager and Jefferson were waiting on him. A loss of 2.
Well, Hager got the tackle, but Jefferson did a beautiful job of keeping contained and forcing the ball back inside to his teammates. Played with discipline, maintained leverage, and brings up a 3rd and long for Notre Dame.
Sacked. Malik Jefferson, and the roar of DKR thunders down.
It was a 3-man rush, and then Jefferson kind of came on a hug blitz. He doesn't blitz right away. See him 46, but as soon as he sees the protection go away and forget about him, then he comes unblocked. Good patience and timing by Malik Jefferson to get to the quarterback.
Texas defense just looks different. Energy in this place just feels different. As Newsome, his punt goes out of bounds. A little different that time around for Kaiser. Tied up here in Austin.
Well, Notre Dame got a break here. Brian Zakowski is the line judge, and he is going to look at Brian Kelly, and when he turns to look to Brian Kelly, he doesn't see the ball is snapped. He gives Brian Kelly the timeout. Notre Dame probably shouldn't have gotten it, and that's probably the best thing that could happen. Not only do they avoid the penalty, they get to go on the sideline and make sure they know exactly what play they want on 4th and 5.
So here's your 4th down. And a flag comes in.
Snap infraction. Number 53. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now this isn't a good run from Sam Mustipher, the new center.
Well, they got the 5-yard penalty anyway. Texas did. Now I'm sure Notre Dame's going to try to pin him deep.
Go down to the field to Holly.
The center, Sam Mustipher, it's his first start. He's already been warned once by the referee in this game that he's moving his head before the snap. So he's been trying not to do it, but that had been a warning earlier in the first quarter. Sam Mustipher's got to get that fixed, and they've been trying to do it on the sideline.
Aussie-style back rotation punt here from Newsome. And Notre Dame able to work with that, pinning it at the 12. Now celebrating its 12th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. And to date, Allstate has contributed millions in those scholarship funds. Tyrone Swoops, who started last year's game at Notre Dame, gave way as the starter. A career record of 6-8.
I'm not surprised that we are seeing him in the game. I am surprised that we're seeing him in this part of the field. I thought we'd only see him in the plus territory in the red zone when the quarterback run part of the offense would really kick into effect. I'm a little surprised that he's coming out deep in his own territory.
And I think so is the crowd, as you heard a reaction, but they have a package for him, and this is typically what you see, and he has success with it. They call it the 18-wheeler. Some big bodies in there, Tom.
Well, when you run the quarterback by design, it forces the defense to account for 10 blockers, and that's unusual. You really have to commit extra defenders to stop the quarterback run.
Now with Foreman leading the way, Swoops, a first down for Texas. 6'4", 249 pounds out there running the ball.
So obviously they were going to run the package with Tyrone Swoops no matter where they were on the field. And 2 good plays by the senior quarterback to get a first down. Now he can throw. And when you run the quarterback and you force that defense to load the box, it might open up some one-on-one pass situations.
Foreman with room crossing the 30-yard line. Texas offensive line doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah, they are. We talked about the freshman center for Notre Dame, Zach Shackelford. This center for Texas is also a true freshman. Played high school football last year. Came in early and has really established himself as a leader up front.
Foreman again as he runs over a would-be tackler. That was Niles Morgan who came up to meet him. 6 yards there. Another first down for the Longhorns.
And the reason Foreman is getting a little daylight in the running game in this possession is because of the success that Swoops has had running it. The Notre Dame defense has to account for both of them.
Swoops picking his hole, and it was the right one. Crossing midfield, 14-yard run.
Well, this is just power football. He's following the tight end, Andrew Beck, number 47. It's an ISO play with the quarterback. Tyrone Swoops is 6'4", 250 pounds. That's 3 250-pound running backs that Texas has.
Foreman again as the lead blocker for Swoops, following well. As Nick Coleman, the corner, had to come up and bring down Swoops.
They've really got the upper hand on Notre Dame's defense with that possession. Buechele back in, and I'll tell you what, Tyrone Swoops deserves a big hand for getting this offense some momentum and making Notre Dame account for a different aspect of this offense.
And now Buechele. Here's the other side of things. Burt couldn't come up with it. So you see the power Q game with Swoops, and you see the arm downfield with Shane Buechele.
That ball was underthrown, though. Burt again has track speed. A long throw from the right hash mark to the left sideline. That's just got to get out of Shane's hands a little bit sooner.
So Sterling Gilbert, the new offensive coordinator, with a changeup of Swoops, and now back to Buechele. And what will he dial up here on 3rd and 6?
Got to use a timeout. Little confusion.
Timeout, Texas. That's their first timeout of the first half. Full timeout.
Would you like to? ABC's Primetime College Football, presented by Capital One. Brought to you by Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years. And Jiffy Lube. We do more than just oil changes, all in a jiffy.
Alongside Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, Joe Tessitore with you here. What a difference a year makes for Texas. They got thumped by the Irish last year, 38-3. Now a 7-7 game.
During the timeout,
Swoops is back in there, Todd.
Buechele called timeout. They thought about it and are going back to Swoops on the 3rd down play.
And he will run it on 3rd and 6. Tried to reach out, comes up just short. A flag is down on the near side.
Texas sideline clapping as if it's offsides against Notre Dame.
Remember, that was 3rd and 6.
Offside, defense, number 98, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, that'll tee up an easier task, and you see the look on the face of Brian Kelly.
And I think you stay with Swoops. The quarterback run game has been effective. And again, you still have to account for the 250-pound Deontay Foreman in the backfield as well. Just because you know what the play might be doesn't mean you can stop it.
3rd and 1. Swoops. He was taken down for a loss. Niles Morgan and Isaac Rochelle did a great job up front.
You have to stop him before he gets ahead of steam. Excellent play on the inside. Daniel Cage, watch number 75. He's the first guy to get there and slow him down. Doesn't get the tackle by himself, but he made the initial move.
And now it's Foreman on 4th and 2.
You know, they lined up and kind of quick snapped the Notre Dame defense. Notre Dame wasn't completely set on 4th and 2, and they got the conversion.
Quick to the line again. Keeping this 18-wheeler package a-rolling.
That's the 11th running play on 1st down for Texas against only one pass. The one pass was a 19-yard touchdown pass by Shane Buechele, but a little heavy on run pass on 1st down.
New guy in town, Sterling Gilbert. New offensive coordinator. He's going to pass now. Looking for Burt. And he overthrew the speed burner, John Burt.
Well, we've seen all three to Burt. We've seen one thrown perfectly that Burt dropped. We've seen one underthrown by Buechele that Burt couldn't make a catch, and that was an overthrown ball by Tyrone Swoops.
Now, if you watched the Auburn-Clemson game last night, your head was spinning with all the quarterback substitution by Rhett Lashley and Gus Malzahn, that Auburn staff. We got dueling banjos here with Buechele and Swoops just on this series.
Look out for Gerard Hurd here. They have not got his hands on the football yet, number 13.
3rd and 7, complete underneath. Getting free was Jake Oliver. 1st down, Texas. reception for Oliver.
Notre Dame came with a full blitz. It's zero coverage, which means there's no free safety. Everything is man-to-man. And where Oliver caught the football, was made, he did not have a first down. But his ability to hang on, break the initial tackle, and keep going forward got him the conversion. Watch, here's the hit right at the point of attack. Sebastian, if he makes that tackle, it's short of the first down. But Jake Reed able to hang on, or Jake Oliver, and turn it into a first down.
Once again, Kent Perkins had to be tended to at the end of that play. And Alex Anderson, a sophomore, will come in and take his spot on the offensive line. But Uncle Mo is with this Texas offense right now. Momentum with the combination of Swoops and Buechele. And here is Foreman getting to work again to the 10-yard line, tackled by Niles Morgan, who's been very active for the Irish defense.
Deontay Foreman in an offense last year that could not throw the football. One of the worst passing teams in the country. He still averaged 7 yards a carry.
Quick pass, and Foreman didn't have anywhere to go that time. A loss of 1 as Avery Sebastian was right on it.
Now Cole Luke was there as well. It really made a good play. He's the guy that got burnt for the touchdown earlier. That time you're expecting the other wide receiver to get a block, and they couldn't block Luke.
Remember, this drive started on their own 12-yard line, converted a 3rd down, a 4th down, and here they are in 3rd and 8. Empty set for the freshman Shane Buechele. They bring pressure over the middle, complete. It's going to be 1st and goal, Longhorns. Jake Oliver, big spot again.
Well, they find the matchup. Jake Oliver working on a safety, and they went right to it again.
Quarterback sneak now. Waiting, touchdown, Texas.
Boy, that's smart. That is really smart. Shane Buechele looked to the sideline. They're saying go, go, go. Notre Dame is lined up. The linebackers are 5 yards deep in the end zone, and he went right up under center and went for the quarterback sneak.
You talk to enough folks down here, and they'll tell you a maturity beyond his years, a gamer type, a natural-born winner, and he's got that it factor. And on that drive, he also had help from his friend, the senior Tyrone Swoops, who got things started running the ball, playing quarterback.
Again, Shane Buechele sees the defense is not set. He goes hurry up to the line of scrimmage, takes the ball out of this from center, under center, and Texas with a 14-7 lead.
Now the lights on, the sun setting here in Austin, and the home team up a touchdown. Joe, Todd, and Holly with you. C.J. Sanders and Dexter Williams back to return for the Irish. And Sanders won't get a chance. Tonight's Capital One pivotal performance, Todd.
Well, that last drive was a thing of beauty for Texas. It started on the 12-yard line with Tyrone Swoops at quarterback. He ran 5 times for 30 yards. This first play was a quarterback counter with a guard and a fullback leading. And then they got down into the red zone, and Jake Oliver was the guy. They found the matchups. He had 3 catches, all 3 of them on 3rd down situations using that big frame, and that led to the 1-yard quarterback sneak by Shane Buechele. But 16 plays, 88 yards, 2 quarterbacks. Very impressive drive for the Longhorns.
And now the quarterback who started the game for the Irish, Deshaun Kaiser, back in. Play action. Kaiser with time. Good strike to Torrey Hunter Jr. And Dad likes it. Long-time major leaguer.
Yeah, I think this is the way Notre Dame has to try to attack now. They need to try to stretch this Texas defense. The Longhorn defense doing a much better job against the run. than they did a year ago in South Bend. Got to stretch them and make them play honest against the pass as well.
Bunch grouping to the near side with Folston in the backfield. And Folston keeps those legs churning out to the 49.
Kaiser was 8-3 as a starter last year. The 3 games that he lost were to teams that ended up in the final AP poll ranked number 2, 3, and 4. Not a bad resume in your first year.
2nd and 5. And Folston was met by Nashon Hughes.
Where Kaiser really excels and shows maturity beyond his years is his ability to read and recognize and make adjustments to protections and plays at the line of scrimmage. He has a real knack for seeing what the defense is doing and trying to get his team in the right play.
Does he read that here on 3rd and 3? The right play, the right time. Tries to get loose, reaches out, and he's going to be about 3/4 of a yard short as a flag comes down, and Jefferson and Boyette were on him.
Flag in the area of holding. Good pressure. It was only a 3-man rush with that delayed blitz by Jefferson again.
10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Texas able to generate a nice rush on Deshaun Kaiser with only 3 committed rushers.
You know, this stadium has been panned in recent past as being filled with a wine and cheese crowd, but listen to it tonight on 3rd and long. And the Irish come up big. Kaiser with a strike to Equanimous St. Brown.
He's such a big body, 6'4", 205 pounds, but how about the protection? This is a deep dig route. Takes a long time to develop, and a beautiful throw by Kaiser out of a clean pocket.
Coming off a great month of a fall camp up in South Bend with St. Brown. Not much room against what appears to be a much improved defensive front for Texas.
Well, they just seem to be much more fundamentally sound. They're, you know, these younger guys are a year older, a year stronger, and they're just playing with more fundamental soundness. Again, I think the game was too big for a lot of these guys up in South Bend last year. It's not too big for them tonight.
Quarterback draw. Kaiser, as we said earlier, grossly underrated as a runner.
A very capable runner. That was a quarterback draw by design. He showed patience in allowing it to set up, but this is a quarterback run all the way. He's got his tailback, Josh Adams, as a lead blocker, and you just see he just runs differently. He covers up that ball with both arms, and he runs more like a fullback when he gets to the point of contact.
Piecing together a good-looking drive here. Kaiser and the Irish. Empty set again. Kaiser downfield, wide open, caught, and what an athletic play into the end zone by EQ. Did you see him somersault off his hand? Wow!
Well, Kaiser saw what he wanted. EQ running right down the seam with no safety over there to help. The free safety, Haynes, was late getting there. And then a beautiful catch and balance at the end by St. Brown.
As Justin Yoon ties up the game. And on a night where Texas is feeling a star is born with their young freshman quarterback, perhaps the same is true with Notre Dame and their sensational receiver, Equanimous St. Brown. We got a good one here in Austin. We've got you covered, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
Well, I talked about Deshaun Kaiser's ability to read and recognize. He's got St. Brown going in the seam, and he's got Josh Adams going up here. The thing you got to watch, the corner and the safety, these two defenders are both going to go with Josh Adams on the wheel route, and Kaiser sees it immediately. As soon as he saw that gap open up in the seam, he was quick to get the football there, and the result was a 30-yard touchdown. His ability to see and recognize and process quickly is what makes him special in this Notre Dame offense.
Kaiser with the 2 touchdown passes, 6 of 7 passing. And a short kickoff by Yoon. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Malik Zaire, the quarterback for Notre Dame, had been in on an extended drive earlier in this quarter. So Zaire comes to the sideline. Deshaun Kaiser has been staying mentally engaged. He said, you know, I know it's going to be tough with us rotating back and forth. So my goal is to not let human nature take its course, not to be sulking, not to be upset if I'm not in the game. He's been standing right behind the play callers, the guys who are signaling in the plays. He's staying mentally engaged in the game. I've seen him go over and continue to talk to his offensive linemen, and it paid off because on that drive when he had to be sharp on that crucial 3rd down, he was ready to go because he has made it a point to stay mentally engaged.
Boy, he sure was, Holly. Glad you're with us here for ABC Primetime College Football, presented by Capital One. All tied up between number 10 Notre Dame and Texas, and Chris Warren able to get that out for a gain of 3.
Last year in this ball game in South Bend, Notre Dame outgained Texas 527 to 163. I mean, they are playing on even footing tonight, not just score-wise, but yardage-wise, running the football, passing the football.
And that is complete to Gerard Hurd, new quarterback to old quarterback.
You know, he hurt his shoulder late in March, and it put him behind in the quarterback battle, and he voluntarily moved to receiver.
Quickly to the line on 3rd down, and it works out again. Chris Warren able to move the sticks.
See, when your tailbacks are 250 pounds, even if you don't block it perfectly, if he doesn't get hit in the backfield, momentum's going to get you 3 or 4 yards.
Look at the tempo here. Downfield, Buechele wide open into the hands of Gerard Hurd. Just tripped up that time inside the 1-yard line. It was Sean Crawford who had to reach out in desperation.
Another vertical shot. He was beat right away. And a beautiful throw by Buechele, showing the ability to strike quickly.
And speaking of quickly, they sprint down the field on offense. A flag is down as Chris Warren was bottled up.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 men in the formation. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat 1st down.
Brian Kelly and Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator. Their boys had to hustle down after that 68-yarder.
Gerard Hurd still learning the nuances of being a receiver, but he's such a dynamic player because of his speed and his ability to run. He was the key reason they beat Oklahoma last year with 115 yards rushing.
Chris Warren reaching out, and he is short. As Drew Tranquil wrapped him up.
Short of the goal line. 2nd down.
That's a really good tackle by Tranquil. You got to hit a guy high at the goal line. If you hit him around his legs, he's going to fall over you into the end zone.
Buechele, whistles blow as Buechele.
I think they're going to take a look at this.
Moving on the field with the ball carrier was stopped short of the line of the touchdown. Previous players under review.
That's a good thing for Texas because they weren't getting in on that play.
You're right.
They stood the freshman center Shackelford right up and stopped the quarterback sneak. So Texas got a break there because of the replay booth. Question is, was his knee down before that ball crossed the plane? It appears that it is.
I think that ACC crew down there on the field got this one right. You got the Big 12 replay officials upstairs taking a peek.
Well, right now, you got to wonder what Sterling Gilbert is thinking here on this play. If this is ruled short. Shane Bruchel got stood up on that quarterback sneak. Again, he's only 190 pounds. Tyrone Swoop's a 250-pound quarterback.
You expect to see that 18-wheeler package come in here, Todd?
I don't know. You're inside the 1-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised they just give it to Foreman.
After review, ruling on the field stands. Second down.
You're inside the 1. You should be able to power the football in. However, I will say that second down is the down to try to throw if you want to try to fool him.
From the half-yard line.
Swoops is in. So now you've got an extra blocker. If the quarterback runs, you've got 10 blockers.
1:58 on the game clock. 1:58 on the game clock.
And you have an extra offensive lineman both on the line and in the backfield. This is their heavy package.
They stood him up. Niles Morgan again. Texas wants the extra effort in that second surge.
Ruling on the field's progress will stop. Third down.
But you hear from Gary Patterson saying that progress was stopped.
Boy, just a beautiful job. I'm not sure which defender it was on the end of the line that went low and got penetration into the backfield and stood up 2 Texas blockers at the point of attack.
And the reason why Patterson was so clear in saying forward progress was ruled.
Ruling on the field. Runner was stopped short of the goal line. Previous play is under further review.
Let's bring in Bill Lamagna, our rules expert. Bill?
Well, the ruling on the field, if they initially ruled that this is forward progress, replay's not involved in it. However, if replay determines that there was a score before he was stopped, that the initial progress across scored, they could reverse it.
But once that moment happens right there, Bill, and forward progress is deemed to have been stopped, nothing after that happened.
They should not review it at that point.
The guy who made the play was Jonathan Bonner, number 55. He was the guy over the tight end that came inside with leverage and tied up 2 blockers and forced Tyrone Swoops to get stopped.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The ball carries forward progress will stop. That play is not reviewable with forward progress stop. Third down.
To Bill's point.
Yep, and correct. That was excellent defense. First by Jonathan Bonner, and then the defenders behind him to stop Swoops short.
So under a minute and a half to play here, and 3rd and goal for Charlie and the Horns.
And I think if you're Charlie Strong right now, your team has had momentum. You're thinking 2 plays here. I don't think you're thinking field goal, even though you'd love to go in with the lead at halftime. I think you're thinking 2 plays. We have to be able to get the ball in the end zone. They've got the heavy package in again. 2 extra offensive linemen in the game.
To the outside. Touchdown. Chris Warren led the way, and Swoops brought it in. Big Jake McMillan was lined up back there, too.
The guy who got beat on the play before, Andrew Beck, number 47, got the key block this time. He was the motion tight end, and instead of trying to run the ball inside, he got a block to seal the outside for Tyrone Swoops.
And Andrew Beck, who's an H-back tight end for Texas, is down at the end of that touchdown play as they will help him off the field, favoring that right leg.
They tried to run inside Remember the quarterback sneak that got nullified because they were reviewing a play. 3 inside runs from the 1-yard line got stuffed by the Notre Dame defense, and that time the design was to go outside, and Tyrone Swoop's able to score.
Big number 18. It's been effective tonight. Horns got themselves a touchdown lead, and they did it with 2 quarterbacks. Bouchel to Gerard Hurd, a former quarterback. And then that 18-wheeler's coming down the highway, folks. Tyrone Swoops. Hook 'em. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Go long without the Hail Mary. Count on Goodyear tires for superior performance. Goodyear, official sponsor of the college football playoff. Notre Dame, a team that was knocking on the door of the college football playoff a year ago and loaded with talent. A contender again this year, but now on the road, season opener. Down a touchdown to the team that many think could be the most improved in the country, Texas. Well, this outstanding opening weekend of college football continues with number 11 Ole Miss and number 4 Florida State from down there in Orlando. 7 o'clock it gets underway with college football countdown. Dalvin Cook is so special as the running back, but the dynamic Chad Kelly, the quarterback for Ole Miss, will be in the spotlight tomorrow, Todd.
He likes playing on a big stage too. You know, he's a very confident guy. Plays with a lot of swagger. A little bit of Brett Favre in him, I think. Just went into the Hall of Fame this year.
And here's a talented one in front of us, DeShone Kizer. A lot of time for the Irish quarterback. And finds his man underneath. That's the running back, Josh Adams.
You're running a hurry-up offense at the end of the half. The first down is the most important one. And that time, Kizer, initially with great protection, and then when he had to leave the pocket, kept his eyes downfield.
Here's Kizer again. And that was incomplete as he was looking for Torrey Hunter Jr. 2 timeouts for Notre Dame. 50 seconds to play here in the first half.
Remember, Notre Dame won the toss and elected to receive. Texas will get the ball first to start the second half. So momentum in the locker room with a lead could be huge for this young Longhorn team.
That hit his last 7 pass attempts prior to that. Now facing a 2nd and 10. Adams. And they found him with Anthony Wheeler. So a timeout will be called.
Notre Dame, that's their 2nd timeout of the first half.
And Josh Adams is still down.
This is a team that had a lot of injuries throughout the year last year. We mentioned the starting tailback Tarian Folston was injured in this game early with a knee injury. Missed the rest of the year.
Well, they feel like they solved that problem, the injuries, applying some science to college football. Sleep and nutrition. The problem was off the field in recent weeks. And the issue on August 19th, and recent arrests. 5 Notre Dame players were arrested for marijuana possession. 3 of them were originally charged with possession of a handgun without a license. Max Redfield was dismissed from the program. He was formally charged with illegal possession of a handgun. Devin Butler is suspended indefinitely. Others are in action tonight. And Holly has more on that.
Well, after that incident happened, the senior leadership on this team said enough. They initially put some rules on there like, guys, you've got to stop going out. And DeShone Kizer said, you know, we thought hey, we're college kids. We want to have fun, but people have got to be responsible. He put it pretty simply. Just don't break any Indiana State laws, and we should be good. But they know they have a special season on hand. They just have to be smarter about how they're handling it.
And by the way, their athletic department policy states that first marijuana offense is an educational process. It's never been a suspension with a first offense. 3rd and 7 here. Kaiser, sturdy in the pocket, and incomplete as St. Brown couldn't corral at that time. He's been sensational otherwise.
Ball was a little bit low and slightly behind him, but definitely catchable. Kaiser stays in the pocket as long as he can, and watch, the ball is a little bit low, and the big tall receiver not able to go down and scoop it up.
So Tyler Newsome on to punt. And Warwick runs up, fields it, and makes the most of a good return. So there's going to be 28 seconds remaining for Texas with 2 timeouts. A 41-yard punt, a 20-yard return, and a late flag. We'll check on that.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 30 on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Now, prior to this penalty, I thought Texas might have been aggressive here and tried to get in field goal range, but the penalty on Tim Cole at the end of the play when he was already out of bounds.
Completely unnecessary, Todd.
Now I would expect Texas to take a knee, try to run out the clock again, to go into halftime with a 7-point lead and getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter. I don't know that Charlie Strong could have scripted it or asked for anything better.
They were thumped a year ago by this Irish squad.
This is a Texas offense again last year that averaged 146 yards passing a game. They have 145 yards passing tonight and 250 yards of total offense in the first half. I'd say the Sterling Gilbert experiment and the new offense has worked pretty well so far.
And they will indeed take a knee. Welcome to college football, Shane Buechele. Counting for a couple touchdowns. Swoops, putting them ahead before the half. Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, Davey Pollock are coming up as Texas has a touchdown lead over number 10 Notre Dame at the half.
Every 6.
Only 2 of Jerron Hurd's 92 completions as a quarterback last year went for 68 yards. I'd say the move to receivers working out well. Holly Rowe with Charlie Strong.
Well, Coach, you successfully were able to manage both quarterbacks out there, an 18-play drive where guys are coming in and out. How were you able to manage that so successfully?
Well, we practiced it, Holly, and that's what we've been doing the whole camp, and our guys really respect one another, and it's been fun to watch. Because you look at Shane, he goes out, and he's able to operate the offense and then move it down for a score, and then you look at Tyrone comes in and does the same thing.
This is your first look at this new offense. How pleased are you with the finesse and tempo versus the physicality?
Well, we're getting a little of both because we're able to run the football and then we're able to throw the ball over their head. But, you know, our offense is going really well, and they're in rhythm right now. And we just got to come out and play a good second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Holly, Charlie, thank you very much. Longhorns up 21-14. Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, and David Pollock here. Do you know that Texas has never won a game under Charlie Strong when the opponent scored first, as Notre Dame did tonight? 0-11. But now with a lead, they get the ball first in the second half. Had the 2-quarterback system. No matter who is at quarterback, they were aggressive, even on 4th down.
Sterling Gilbert. I mean, it was a new OC. Remember, we've seen Texas in the past couple years flirt with tempo. Now they're doing tempo. This is tempo, and I like the aggressiveness of Charlie Strong early. 4th and 1, first drive. Notre Dame just went down and scored. Next play, take a shot down the field, score a touchdown. Another touchdown that they scored the next touchdown to go up 14-7. Here he goes again. 4th down and 2. No problem. Staying aggressive, physical running game with taking shots down the field. It leads to a touchdown. This offensive, last year was Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma. Sterling Gilbert in Texas is going to be a name you're going to keep hearing because this tempo and this passing game is working.
I'm going to tell you, the reason why he was so comfortable going for it on 4th down, because they're controlling the line of scrimmage. When they run the ball very aggressively. They're moving the defensive line forward. Every time a Texas running back falls, he's falling forward. Notre Dame, they're catching the runners. They're not tackling them. Every time you see a guy, watch this run right here. Watch how he runs. And that's Tyrone Swoops. He's a quarterback. See how they're always falling forward? They're the aggressors. They have so much momentum right now running the game, running the ball. They have 145 yards on the ground. I think because they can run the ball so effectively, now it makes it very easy to go from 4th and 2nd.
Yes, them dudes are 240, 245. Don't know.
Hey, man, those guys are defenders. They got to initiate some hits. I mean, at some point, you got to turn the guy the other way. But they're controlling the line of scrimmage. And going into this game, we thought that maybe that would be a problem, right? Because Notre Dame had all the experience up front, the big bodies. I tell you what, Texas, at this point, they're dominating the line of scrimmage.
And you heard Holly talk to Charlie Strong about using 2 quarterbacks. A lot of teams have done that. 43 teams already this year have had more than 1 quarterback take a snap. Notre Dame's was right in the spotlight. The difference, I think, Texas has a specific package of plays that Tyrone Swoops is running. Notre Dame's just changing quarterbacks. What do you think about what you've seen so far?
I don't think you'll continue to see the changing quarterback. I think Kaiser's better. I mean, he's a better thrower of the football. You see him when he picks up blitzes. You see his eyes work really well. Started the game 6-7, took him down the field. Look at this. Look how much air he puts under this throw right here. Great job. Let his receiver have time to adjust to it in the air. Just really smart. And again, you're not losing a lot athletically. He still has the ability to take it, buy time. But this is what he does really well. Throw strikes down the field.
Excellent throw right there.
Yeah, and his
That's as good as it gets.
His eyes are quick. His receivers on the outside are still young. He's going to still grow with them. But to me, coming into this game and now, I still think Kaiser's the best quarterback.
No, I think so too. I mean, up to this point, Kaiser has been razor sharp. I mean, Zaire, he's been pressured a lot. I don't know if he's making the right decision out there with the ball in his hands. But how about the young freshman Shane Buechele? I mean, he's running a hurry offense, but he's not rushing. He's very poised. This stage is not too big for him. Now, he's had some excellent ball placement passes. I mean, and he's thrown probably at least 2 passes, touchdown passes that weren't touchdowns because the receivers dropped them. I mean, so he's playing a fantastic game so far in this first half, Reese.
Yeah, down that far sideline, Burt had one, and I think would have been a long one and just went right out of his hands.
Yes, sir.
Buechele's been terrific, though, still 9 out of 13 in the first half. This is a great Sunday night affair to cap off a Saturday that was filled with some surprises and also some exclamation points. Some of the Saturday storylines. Number 1, Alabama. Some ask, why are they number 1? I think they showed USC. Jalen Hurts, another true freshman quarterback who didn't look like it, hit our Darius Stewart. Dave, what if I said Marlon Humphrey's going to be the best pure corner Saban's ever had at Alabama?
Ever had?
At Alabama.
At Alabama. Okay.
At Alabama.
Take LSU out of the mix.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm for that. I like that. But how about Clemson and Deshaun Watson, too? Struggling. We talked about going to Auburn. It's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
Didn't play his best game, Daz.
No, he didn't. But you got to give Auburn's defense some credit, too.
Yes, they look
played
good.
Lights out last
How about Mike
night.
Williams coming back? Yes, please.
Mike, hey, that was his go-to guy.
Yes,
I mean, the fade stop killed him all night.
1 rolled, 2 survived, 3 went down. Oklahoma knocked down by Houston, and really, the Houston defense made Baker Mayfield uncomfortable, particularly later in the game after a quick start and kind of had Baker running for his life. Their first loss in the season opener since 2009, and this might have been the most surprising thing of the day. LSU goes down to Wisconsin.
No doubt it was surprising. Stunned. The offense didn't look much different than it did a year ago for LSU. I think the frustration will continue to grow there. Brandon Harris, he needs to make more plays in the passing game. The offense needs to evolve, but LSU looks exactly the same as they did a year ago in offense.
Yeah, Brandon Harris, he has not progressed from last year to this year, and that's actually pretty sad to see.
Yeah, you have 2 teams in the top 5 that have fallen, 2 teams that many believe have the talent to get to the college football playoff, and it's just 1 week.
It's early.
There's a lot of opportunities to get better and improve. Given that, who has the tougher road to make it eventually to the college football playoff, Oklahoma or LSU?
Simply put, LSU, to me, because their quarterback play is not up to par. I don't care about the receivers he has out there. I don't care about Leonard Fournette behind him. If the quarterback play keeps lacking the way it has been, they have the toughest road to get to the college football playoff.
I mean, look at the schedule. I mean, they got to play Bama, don't they? LSU has to play Bama, right?
Yeah.
I think that makes it very simple. Now, I think Oklahoma's got several more losses on their schedule, too. And if you watch Oklahoma last year and this year, there's a common theme. It's only one game. They don't push anybody around up front. They don't have a physical offensive line. I thought maybe they get a little bit stronger this year, some of those freshmen that were playing tackle, but they still struggled. So I think both of them are going to get several more losses throughout the season.
I will say this, and you're absolutely right, but I think old Ed Oliver, that freshman down at Houston, he's going to push some folks around no matter who he sees, I think.
That's going to be a stud. He's going to be a true. Greg Ward Jr. is going to do plenty too.
He is big time. Texas has a 21-14 lead on Notre Dame, and we've seen some figurative lightning strikes on the field. But in the distance here in Austin, keeping an eye on the weather, had a little bit of rain, see some lightning strikes. At least we haven't been told if it's close enough to cause a delay yet. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Labor Day night affair, Dalvin Cook and the Seminoles taking on Chad Kelly and the Rebels. Will look ahead.
This halftime report is brought to you by BMW. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine.
Back here in Austin at the half, Texas with a 21-14 lead on number 10 Notre Dame. Bevo 15 making his debut tonight. First time he's been at a game. He's just about a year old, a little over, and he's been a little skittish around the crowds when that loud cannon goes off.
Yeah. Well, hey,
they better hold on to Bevo.
They're not used to the cannon going off so much around here in Texas, so it's he's going to get used to it if they keep scoring points like this.
Change the quarter.
Labor Day night, we have Florida State and Ole Miss, two of the most dynamic offensive players in the country. You know, Chad Kelly's season of more than 4,500 yards last year. Only Johnny Manziel's 2 seasons better in SEC history.
He's got it all. He really does, and he's got plenty of weapons on the perimeter. I don't know how the offensive line's going to hold up, but quick release, lightning quick release, gets the ball out of his hands, understands how to throw the ball up for jump balls, but down the stretch, what really made Ole Miss, I think, hard to stop was his ability to run the football. He became the running back of this team. They don't have a true running back, so he'll take that role on. Can he do it all and stay healthy against Dalvin Cook?
Speaking of running backs, a great segue. How about Dalvin Cook? This guy is a Heisman hopeful. He led the ACC in rushing touchdowns with 19 last year. He averaged 7.5 yards per carry.
That's it?
He's explosive, dynamic. I can't wait to watch him tomorrow night rush against this SEC defense, Ole Miss. That kid right there, he can get it done.
He's special.
Yeah, he is very special.
They've got talent on all sides of the ball. We'll see DeAndre Francois. I can't think of a better way to break in a young quarterback than to have Dalvin Cook to help you out. They've got a bevy of receivers.
Plenty of weapons, too,
State. And there is Mac Brown, our colleague and buddy down on the field. Texas has the lead at the half.
This halftime report is brought to you by Michelin, a better way forward.
Closing in on the start of the second half here in Austin, what's one thing you're looking for?
Safety help deep for Notre Dame. I think that Brian Van Gorder is going to have to get his cornerback some safety help. They're getting beat on the vertical routes.
I wonder if we're going to get some traditional quarterback play now. We're going to have just one guy from each side. I think Kaiser's the guy for Notre Dame. Let's see if he can lead them to a comeback.
I think you might see that. I still think in certain running situations you're going to see swoops for Texas. Fair enough?
Red zone, yes.
Red zone.
Maybe not like they did last time, the whole drive, though. It was 18-play drive.
Well, fix it. They haven't stopped it.
Hey, you know who I think you'll see from pylon cam? Maybe Equanimous St. Brown. Couple of touchdowns for the Irish in the first half. Second half just around the corner.
Monday night main event. Here we go. Folston, who gets off a good run, and he's free. Tarian Folston to the end zone. St. Brown, touchdown Irish. Fire it, Smokey. Cannon shot. Longhorns on the board. Malik Jefferson, and the roar of DKR thunders down. Quarterback sneak now. Touchdown, Texas. Downfield, wide open, caught, and what an athletic play into the end zone. Wow. ABC primetime college football presented by Capital One. And this sensational opening weekend rolls through Austin. 21-14, Texas on top of number 10 Notre Dame. Joe Tessitore and Todd Blackledge thrilled to be with you tonight for a good one. Why is Texas finding success, Todd?
Well, I think they've got balance. You know, I think the offensive balance has been good. They've hit some big plays down the field that have kind of stretched the Notre Dame defense. And then I thought brilliant use of Tyrone swoops in the quarterback run game really gave a different look to Notre Dame. And I just think they played with confidence offensively. Buechele started the game with confidence. Swoops played with confidence when he came in, and they've made enough big plays. Both teams have had long scoring drives. There have been 5 touchdown drives of over 75 yards in the ball game.
And Deshaun Kaiser looks pretty good playing quarterback there for Notre Dame. We'll see how much we see of Malik Zaire. Great opening weekend. It doesn't happen by accident. ESPN programmer Dave Brown, a big part of putting all these matchups together. And as Brownie likes to say, toe meets leather here for what should be a thrilling second half. Moments ago, Holly with Brian Kelly.
Well, Coach, you went back and forth with both quarterbacks in the first half. You were waiting to kind of see if someone would establish a rhythm. How do you handle the second half?
They still both need to play. I mean, I think we missed some throws, made some close. I think we left some offense out there. But, you know, I guess it's still about the first game. They're still finding themselves a little bit, but I think they'll play better in the second half.
How do you think you adapted to the Texas tempo in that new offense?
I thought we did a better job. Of course, we gave up a big play pass, you know, so it kind of mitigates that a little bit in the sense that, you know, we started to do a better job against the run. I thought they did a good job answering with swoops. The quarterback run game we had to make a couple of adjustments with, but, you know, all in all, you know, obviously the big play pass concerns us. We have got to tighten some things up on the back end of the defense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Holly. He mentioned tempo and pace. That was a big part of Texas's output there. New offensive coordinator Sterling Gilbert here in town now.
You know, in pretty good execution. Only 1 false start penalty, no turnovers.
Here's Buechele. This time he finds John Burt. What a start to the second chapter of an opening night. 78-yard touchdown pass. Buechele to Burt. That was deflected, that extra point, but still went through.
Well, Brian Kelly told Holly we got to do a better job in the back end of our defense on the deep balls. Right out of the gate, John Burt, the the track guy, going against Nick Coleman. The corner runs right by him. And Shane Buechele does a great job of getting rid of the ball early. Watch how quickly it's out and lets his man run under it. He knows the speed of Burt. Don't underthrow him again. And this time Burt hauls it in for a touchdown. You keep going back to him. He's a home run hitting type receiver. And what a way to start the third quarter for Texas.
Prior to tonight, a true freshman hadn't started the season opener at quarterback at Texas since Bobby Lane back in 1944. A lot of people thought this could be the start of something big, a whole new era for the Horns. He's delivering. Dexter Williams, and he returns it for the Irish out just past the 25.
Well, you take a look. Since Colt McCoy They just have not had the same kind of success. Remember, they had Vince Young before Colt McCoy, and from the period of 2000 to 2009, unprecedented success for Texas football here in recent history. And ever since then, they have not had a quarterback that was able to deliver. They thought Garrett Gilbert would be the next one. There's Vince Young. He was honored at halftime with the championship team. But after Vince and Colt McCoy, they have not had a guy, and they were hoping and praying that maybe this is the guy in Shane Buechele.
And now the guy for Notre Dame is going to be Malik Zaire, as he keeps it and tried to spin free, and then it was Hughes finding him. Hall made the hit as well. Zaire was just 2 of 5 passing in that first half for 23 yards, as he's been splitting time with that man, Deshaun Kaiser, who has the 2 touchdown passes tonight. Folston drives ahead just past the 30, taken down by Paul Boyette. A bit of concern on the face of some of the Irish faithful who have made their way down here.
Well, this is a big third down play for Malik Zaire right here. Texas came out of the gates and scored on a big play. You have your first third down situation. You want to keep some momentum and don't let this crowd get fired up again quickly.
Superman on top of him. Kenny Vaccaro came flying in, and Malik Zaire came crashing down.
Well, Vaccaro comes unblocked. Here he is right here. And Zaire knows that the blitz is coming, but he's just not able to get away from it. He thinks the ball fake might get him up in the air and out of the way, but Vaccaro lands right on top of him after he jumps. Part of the reason was from the other side, Malcolm Roach, number 32, was closing in as well. Zaire nowhere to go.
As Newsom punts away, and Warwick on the return, weaving his way just short of midfield. A flag comes down at the end of that 10-yard return by Ja'Cory Warwick.
During the return, blocking the back, number 8 on the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
Shane Buechele and the Longhorns offense back to business when we return. That's how the numbers you see last season, total game totals there for Texas compared to tonight.
Yeah, it's a completely different team. I mean, again, we made the point earlier, for a lot of these young Texas players, the game was too big last year. It's not too big, and it's certainly not too big for this freshman quarterback, Shane Buechele, who has been outstanding in this revamped Texas passing game. Texas has had 18 first down plays in the game, 16 runs, only 2 passes, but both passes have been huge.
Flag is down as Buechele gets it to John Burt, and the Notre Dame defense swarms him. Saw Cole Luke quick to get out.
Offside, defense, number 90, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Isaac Rochelle, their best and most versatile defensive lineman. So a 1st and 5 for the Longhorns.
Brian Kelly's telling him that's 2 times tonight that he's gotten called for being lined up offside.
Number 56, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Freshman center for Texas, Zach Shackelford. You got freshman center, you got a freshman quarterback.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm impressed with not just the speed and the tempo that this offense is playing with for the first time, the first game, but also the execution level. Not very many penalties. I know we just had one there. Good blend of run and pass and no turnovers so far in the ball game.
Now, Sterling Gilbert deserves a lot of credit. He's Charlie Strong's 4th play caller in 3 years. He is a difference maker. One of those real young hotshot play callers of the game. Another deep ball from Buechele that was thrown underneath. Flag comes in as he was looking for Foreman. And Nick Coleman was on the coverage.
And Nick Coleman had no idea where the football was. This ball, as you mentioned, was underthrown.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I mean, he's trying, can't find the ball, and as the receiver, Foreman is trying to come back to it.
The poor throw caused the penalty.
Absolutely. Now, Coleman's just trying to play catch-up. He's the guy that John Burt ran by in the last Texas possession.
Foreman straight ahead. And Greer Martini with the tackle. Foreman again. This time tried to bounce it to the outside, but he was unable to get around the edge of Julian Love. And 2 flags come in at the end of that.
Yeah, a little extra effort between Connor Williams of Texas and Niles Morgan.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 5 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Brian Kelly told us in the meeting yesterday he is by far the toughest player on our defense. But what he's talking to him about right now is you can't make those kind of plays and extend drives. We're hanging on for dear life right now, and we're giving him extra yardage.
And 3rd defensive penalty of this drive alone. Chris Warren on first down. Nifty hole as he rolls over Devin Studstill for a Texas first down. And here's that pace and tempo. Right back to the line is Buechele. And right back to Warren as he's inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Now, anybody who's watched Baylor play football the last couple years knows that, yes, they throw the ball vertically, but they want to run first.
Stacked up that time was Warren as Morgan and Studstill brought him down.
That is the coaching philosophy, the coaching tree that Sterling Gilbert has come from. He and the offensive line coach, Matt Maddox, also came on the staff, both from Tulsa. They were at Tulsa for a year. They were at Bowling Green for a year before that, and then 2 years at Eastern Illinois. So a fast riser is Sterling Gilbert, and he's off to a good start here in Austin.
3rd and 6. Buechele to the end zone. Incomplete. Thrown to the inside a little high of Jake Oliver. You mentioned Eastern Illinois, and he helped with the development of Patriots quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's had a good run as Sterling Gilbert. Matt Maddox, package deal coming over, offensive lineman, offensive coordinator.
Well, with this offense, again, they're friends. They grew up together. They were GAs together at Houston under Art Briles, and they kind of go hand in hand because that offensive line has to be in sync with the tempo and be in condition to run this kind of offense.
So Trent Domingue on for the 25-yard field goal attempt, the grad transfer from LSU. And he puts it through, and Texas extends their lead. Domingue's field goal makes it 31-14.
Primetime College Football, presented by Capital One. Brought to you by Nissan and Allstate, proud supporters of college football. It's good to be in good hands.
As Ricky Williams, Longhorns legend, Heisman winner, the Nissan Heisman House Tour made a stop here in Austin today. Some greats through the years for Texas. Big, powerful runners who could break away with speed. That's what they have with the combination of Foreman and Warren. But this combination of Shane Buechele doing most of the work passing and Tyrone Swoops coming in with that 18-wheeler package has been the reason they're up 31-14. C.J. Sanders with a nice return for the Irish. Todd, let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary, and we will start with focusing in on Shane Buechele.
Well, he's been hot. 10 for 15, 218 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Looks very confident. And then when they brought Tyrone Swoops in, he started a drive on the 12-yard line, ends up with 7 carries. DeShone Kizer also hot throwing the football. I would expect at this point we're going to see mostly DeShone Kizer the rest of the way for Notre Dame.
As he enjoys the best starting field position that Notre Dame has had tonight. And here goes Kizer as he runs it for a gain of 5. Kizer the 2 touchdown passes tonight to the athletic Equanimeous St. Brown.
And the other guy that has to step up for you if you're Notre Dame right now is Torrey Hunter. He's the guy that has some experience. They need him to step up and make some plays.
Good to see Josh Adams back healthy for the Irish. Remember, he stayed down after a play earlier tonight. Good run as the Irish cross midfield. Need to get something going here.
Well, the short kickoff, the nice return by Sanders, and now 2 plays later, they're in Texas territory.
Kizer to pass. And a strike is caught by EQ.
Well, that's just beautiful timing and throw by Kizer. You run the play fake, so you hold the linebackers, the underneath coverage, and then you just rise up and deliver a strike.
He pulls it from Adams, and it was a great choice by Kizer. Inside the 10 and into the end zone. '29-yard touchdown run for DeShone Kizer.
Well, Sherrod Evans, number 1, is going to come unblocked to the top. He's going to have a shot, doesn't make the play, and then you see the safety miss the tackle as well. Vaccaro, who had the sack on Zaire, misses the open field tackle on the bigger Kizer, and Kizer shows you his ability as a runner, and a quick touchdown for Notre Dame.
Those last 2 steps, that balancing act, still with that power and speed. As Justin Yoon closes it to 10. DeShone Kizer, been nothing wrong with him in these dueling quarterbacks. Pylon cam shows him sneaking right in. That golden boot crossing the line for Kizer. Joe Todd Holly with you as DeShone Kizer, Todd, has given Notre Dame a spark.
Well, he made a nice play, but watch the safety now, Kevin Vaccaro. He's going to have to fill this alley, and he's unblocked, and he's got to be able to make the tackle on the quarterback. He misses the tackle on Kizer, and the result is a touchdown. Now, he made a nice play sacking Zaire in Notre Dame's first possession, but that time a mistake cost a touchdown, and he's in there because Dylan Haynes, the starting safety for the last 2 years, is out with a head injury.
Here's Kyle Porter, good-looking freshman running back on special teams. Reminder that Monday Night Football comes back your way September 12th. The Week 1 annual doubleheader we always serve up. 6:55 Eastern. You got Big Ben and the Steelers, Josh Norman, the Redskins. Then at 10:15, West Coast matchup, 49ers and Rams. And coverage will get underway with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN.
Well, Charlie Strong is not happy with his freshman running back Porter. First of all, I thought it was a mistake that he brought it out of the end zone. I think he was frustrated because he hadn't touched the football, and then at the end of the play, he gets into a little scuffle, and he's the last guy to do something. Both guys swing, but he's the one who swings last and gets seen, and now Texas has to back up and start deep in their own territory. So a costly mistake by a talented young player.
Yeah, he was tussling with Nico Fertitta there, who's the son of the co-founder of the UFC.
Well, I think right now
this is a pretty penny this summer.
This is Notre Dame's defense. They have to step up here.
Here's the 18-wheeler package again with swoops, and Notre Dame was all over it. Well read by Niles Morgan.
Notre Dame's defense, with the aid of the penalty, has them backed up. Tyrone Swoops is in the game. They need to get a 3 and out and get their offense back on the field. Their defense has not had a super game against this Texas offense for sure, but they've got a nice opportunity right here.
Swoops just trying to shake free in the backfield and struggled to do that. Finally surging ahead. As Morgan was involved again, and there's a Texas player who is down, and that is Tristan Nicholson, who rotates in as an offensive lineman.
He just got back healthy a couple days ago.
Had an ankle injury, right?
Yeah. That Notre Dame player fell into the back of his right leg.
That was Jerron Jones, who weighs 315 pounds. Came down on Nicholson. And with a 3rd and 7, Shane Buechele will come in to play quarterback. Intercepted that time. Sean Crawford inside the 10, and Notre Dame is in prime position.
There was inside pressure on Shane Buechele. He's only 6'1", and watch the pressure come right up the middle and force the high throw. It's Rochelle who's in there. The ball is tipped by Ja'Cory Warwick, but the pass was thrown high because of the pressure of Rochelle, and Notre Dame with the first turnover of the football game.
A golden opportunity now for the Golden Domers here. 1st and goal. Kaiser and Folston in the backfield. Can they cut into this Texas lead?
2 tight ends set here. And remember, we've already seen the running ability of Kaiser.
Just a gain of 1 from Folston that time. As Poon and Ford clogged up that middle. Kaiser couldn't escape Malik Jefferson.
Excellent play by Jefferson. Great discipline on the outside. He didn't go for the fake. He played his position and his responsibility, and then was able to still fall in and make the tackle for a loss of yardage. You got EQ right here in the inside slot, the big receiver.
Third and goal. Pumps again, extends, end zone, touchdown, Torrey Hunter Jr.
Well, he was looking for St. Brown on the post to the back of the end zone, and it's not going to be there. His first look is back here. He doesn't have it. He escapes and extends the play, and that's when Torrey Hunter was able to uncover on the quarterback scramble, and Notre Dame in the end zone again.
What a way to respond. The Irish are right back in it, thanks to Sean Crawford picking off the young gun, bringing it back, and then the veteran Kaiser to Hunter. Here's what everybody's gunning for, the National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper here in Austin today. Made an appearance at the Fan Fest. We've got a record crowd tonight at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. 102,315. You see the average home attendance over the last 4 years, and then you look around. And what did you say to me earlier today, Todd? That these Texas fans want to grab on to something good.
Yeah, you could feel it. It was tangible here around the complex, around the university, around the city of Austin. And I think they're happy with what they're seeing tonight and how competitive this Texas football team is.
Let's go down to the field to Holly.
Well, I kept my eye on Shane Buechele very carefully after his first career interception for Texas. He came to the sideline and he didn't go back and sit down with the rest of the team. He couldn't bear to watch. He wanted to stay right here and see if Notre Dame was able to score off his turnover. But the offensive coordinator, Sterling Gilbert, came over, patted him on the helmet, said, "Hey, we're okay, kid." Buechele said, "Yeah, I know. He's anxious to get back out there and redeem himself." Keep in mind, he's a very calm kid. His dad was a major leaguer for many years. This kid doesn't get too flustered.
Yeah, Steve Buechele, 11 years a major leaguer and currently a coach with the Texas Rangers.
Well, here's my observation right now, Joe, and I would say this for both teams. With Texas with the ball, I think you stay with Buechele at quarterback until you get in the red zone, or you want to get in where you run the quarterback with swoops. I don't think you start series and on third down bring Buechele in anymore.
Quick throw was through the hands of John Burr. Remember, Burt had that amazing way to start this second half, 78-yard touchdown reception.
And then on the flip side, I say, DeShone Kizer, you finish the game if I'm Brian Kelly, because he has got them in a position to be right back in front of in this football game.
Now here's a position for the Notre Dame defense to come up with a stop and keep the momentum that they've been building up.
Inside pressure on the last play, third down play by Rochelle. Forced a high throw.
Chris Warren tried to break free, but all the Irish joining in the party. James Nwalu and Sean Crawford and Brian Van Gorder's bunch did a really nice job right there.
Little twist game on the inside, and Jerry Tillery, number 99, came on the stunt right into the play. Nice choice of a defensive stunt on that running play, forcing the punt now on fourth down.
The Australian-born Michael Dixon out to punt for the Horns. C.J. Sanders back at his 19. Well, it's been an unbelievable weekend of college football. Todd, we got to sit back, watch it all with this Sunday assignment. Of course, Oklahoma and LSU, 2 top 5 teams going down. Alabama very much looked the part of what you would expect, dominating USC. The stars were shining. Chubb was sensational for Georgia. You know all about McCaffrey and Stanford on Friday night. And J.T. Barrett, many think a Heisman hopeful. Kaiser to pass. Downfield he goes, and he threw it beyond Boykin. Todd, a lot of people get all rattled about week 1.
Yeah.
A little too much hype somewhere, pointing fingers too much other side.
Yeah, I just don't think you can get carried away. A lot happens between week 1 and week 2. It doesn't make a season. You know, Alabama looked great yesterday, looked dominant. Does that mean they're going to look like that week in and week out? Probably not. Okay, Tennessee on Thursday night barely won, probably didn't deserve to win. They'll be better next week. You just can't make too much out of one game.
Second down, they go inside with Folston, well blocked, and a good run by Folston, 17 yards from Kaiser.
Now, having said that, I will say what Houston did, because that game was a huge game for them, was very impressive. And Greg Ward Jr. is legit. So is Lamar Jackson at Louisville, a legit quarterback coming into the college football season this year. And J.T. Barrett, I think Ohio State is much better and going to be much better than people think they're going to be.
Adams in the game as we saw Folston limp off the field. Holly will be on top of that. And he's tackled by Anthony Wheeler. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, that left hamstring is starting to cramp up a little bit for Tarian Folston. Brian Kelly was very concerned about the heat tonight. He actually forbid his players from coming out here too early. He cut their pregame routine in half to prevent a situation just like this. Folston getting it massaged out and taking liquids right now. 2nd and 7 now. And Dexter Williams in at running back. 3-by-1 receiver formation for the Irish. And Kaiser keeps it himself again with great success and flipped upside down by Holton Hill.
Boy, he really held that fake long and enough to really fool the Texas defense. Watch him hold the fake with Dexter Williams. And then he's able to cut it up inside for a strong gain from the quarterback position. Again, not the niftiest or shiftiest runner, but a very effective runner.
Empty look here. On 1st down, Kaiser has found his rhythm. A lot of time here, and he goes underneath to C.J. Sanders. And Sanders in the open field is dangerous as Sanders works his way down to the 17-yard line.
Tremendous protection by this Notre Dame offensive line. Kaiser is 6'4". He can stay in the pocket and dump it down to his outlet receiver, but he had a chance to survey the whole field before going down to that check down receiver.
Folston had limped off. Now he comes on. As he's lined up in the slot on the near side, you see number 25. Can Kaiser bring Notre Dame all the way back here? Folston kept his balance for a moment. Gain of 2+. So he was met by Deshaun Elliott.
Texas trying to get some fresh bodies in there on the defensive line. Gerald Wilbin, one of the freshmen, in there right now, number 94.
Quickly they get it to Torrey Hunter Jr. And a flag comes in at the end of the play as Torrey Hunter Jr. got it down to the 8-yard line.
Holding. Number 3. Offense. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's an unusual call. Offensive holding on a receiver. I mean, you obviously sometimes get offensive pass interference on a pick or a rub play, but very rarely do you hear offensive holding. Although it was a screen pass behind the line of scrimmage, and he's one of the lead blockers, and that's a clear hold. That's a correct call. Holding on the safety, Vaccaro.
Spot foul, so it's second down from here, and he's going to pass back. It's a throwback, and it's just beyond DeShone Kizer as Torrey Hunter Jr. gave it a look.
Well, they had it. A little bit of an overthrow, and I think Kizer maybe thought he was right on the sideline. They show the reverse. Kizer is patient, and as he slips out, he's open. And I think he might have thought he was right on the sideline, and he stopped running and reached for the ball. If he keeps running, he might run under that right to the corner of the end zone.
So now a 3rd and 12. And they were able to get that timeout in as that play clock was running down.
30-second timeout.
Notre Dame had those 14 unanswered points in about 2.5 minutes. And now this current drive that has spanned 54 yards over 8 plays and set up for a 3rd and 12. See, when trailing by 17, what has happened of late?
Well, right now, if you're DeShone Kizer, you're thinking, okay, we're going to call a play here. Worst case scenario with 3rd and 12 is we're going to have a chance to tie the game up with a field goal. Justin Yu.
Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. And it has been a thriller with the debut of Shane Buechele, as Texas fans have had a lot to be happy about with their offense. And DeShone Kizer has brought the Irish back here. The closing moments of this 3rd quarter. Can they tie or take the lead? 3rd and 12. Incomplete. Hard hit coming in there from Elliott.
And Malik Jefferson had the underneath coverage, and it was a safety coming over the top.
And you can see the medical staff is right on top of Torrey Hunter Jr. as he was on the receiving end of that collision in the end zone. You see his dad there, longtime Major League Baseball star.
There was no flag either, no penalty called for any kind of targeting or a hit on a defenseless player at the collision of that end of that play.
See him moving his extremities throughout this process. As they are able to sit him up. Always a good sign. And a nice reception of well wishes from the Texas crowd as you see the concern on the face of his family. His mother and father here in Austin for this big opening game of Torrey's senior year. Up on his feet.
Well, again, the underneath coverage was Anthony Wheeler, and then coming over the top, Deshaun Elliott. As the ball is getting to the receiver, jars the ball loose. It was a good throw by Kaiser, 2 hands on it, but he's not able to complete the catch.
The process of the catch has to be completed all the way through.
Now, Joe, one thing that's interesting this year that's different is there was no targeting call on the field. But the replay officials this year have the ability to change that. If they think a targeting foul should have been called, they can call that down and make a change. It doesn't appear that that's happening, but that is a new rule in college football this year and will come into effect at some point this season.
12 straight field goal attempts made by Justin Yoon. And this one is blocked. A chance to tie the game goes away. Texas special teams comes up huge.
Nashawn Hughes, number 40, 6'4", 237 pounds, is the guy who gets his hand up in there. Times his jump and gets that left hand on a low kick, but Nashawn Hughes knocks it off course.
Just timed it perfectly. A guy who they expect to be an explosive playmaker off the edge. Became a playmaker on special teams right there. And Texas maintains their lead. And back to Chris Warren they go, and look at the push from the Texas offensive line. Get a motion here with a second remaining in the third quarter.
Snap. False start. Number 3, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, even if you want to go fast, you got to make sure everybody is set. I mean, that's, you can't snap the ball until everybody is set for a second.
That big call of Nashawn Hughes gives Texas the lead going into the fourth quarter. Can they hold on to it as Notre Dame gains some momentum there thanks to Kaiser? ABC Primetime College Football presented by Capital One will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Engaña por tierra, va al pase, largo. John Bird lo tiene. Va a anotar John Bird. Anota. John Bird, touchdown de Longhorns.
That is awesome stuff from that guy right there, Dr. Ruben Pizarro Silva, the play-by-play man for the Texas Spanish Radio Network. Longhorns #1 among Hispanic college football fans. I can listen to that call all day long. And here is the man he just called, John Burke, with the reception.
Nice play there on second down, bringing up a 3rd and short. I really think, Joe, Texas needs to keep their foot on the gas here in the fourth quarter.
Chris Warren. Great job by that front of the Irish, including Isaac Rochelle.
See, in order to stop these big backs, you have to get penetration and get them before they get ahead of steam going. And that's exactly what Rochelle did that time. Got into the backfield and was able to stop Warren before he got ahead of steam. Get him moving sideways, wrap him up, and wait for your buddies to get there to help.
So the Aussie comes back out, and the dangerous Sanders waits for it. Able to turn this one over and drive Sanders back. Inside the 15. Gets past the first group and gets free out to midfield. Tremendous return by C.J. Sanders. It was the punter, Michael Dixon, who had to tackle him.
Well, first of all, a great job by Sean Crawford, number 20, blocking the first guy down. Then the return man, Sanders, makes the other guy miss and then picks up a few more blocks, and it's a huge return for the Irish. Get one block, make one guy miss, and now Notre Dame in great field position to start this possession.
And Sanders off of a 58-yard punt with a 4-5 hang time brings it back 40 yards. Notre Dame in position again.
Not a bad spot to take a shot deep down the field here after that return.
Try to get the wide receiver screen game going. Not so much. Holly.
Notre Dame's most experienced wide receiver, Torrey Hunter Jr., has been taken to the locker room to be further evaluated. It looks unlikely from what I've observed that he would return to this game. Guys, that's a huge deal because he had 28 catches coming into tonight. The rest of the wide receivers combined, only 2. Someone inexperienced has to step up right now.
And they targeted him 6 times already tonight. 4 receptions. We just saw Corey Holmes in the game moments ago. Second down now. Kaiser to run again. Patiently waited for his blocks, and he's right at that line to make. We'll see where they mark it.
And then you see the power at the end of the run. 6'4", 230 pounds, and he moved the pile.
First down, Irish. After being down 31-14, Kaiser has found his groove. Notre Dame has had momentum. Can they capitalize? Still one great one to go. Monday night it'll be Ole Miss and Florida State. And you get the night going at 7 o'clock with college football countdown. You see the Hunter family heading into the locker room to check on Torrey. And we hope the best for him. Josh Adams gets to the corner and then forced out. So third down for Notre Dame.
You got to believe if you're going to throw the football now for Notre Dame with Torrey Hunter in the locker room, EQ St. Brown is your go-to guy. I mean, he's going to be your first look on any kind of pass play, and he's in the inside slot to the wide side of the field.
True freshman Kevin Stefferson is also in the game.
The second half.
As a timeout,
Media timeout
is used by Texas. It'll be 3rd and 3. 3-point game in the 4th quarter when we return. It is beautiful aerial coverage by Goodyear. Go long without the Hail Mary. Count on Goodyear tires for superior performance. Goodyear, official sponsor of the college football playoff. Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe with you here in Austin, Texas. A thriller on this Sunday night main event of a magnificent opening weekend of college football. What do you got for 3rd and 3, Irish? Texas has Nashawn Hughes, the guy who blocked a field goal moments ago, and a flag is down. He wraps up Deshaun Kaiser.
Holding, 25, defense, 10-yard penalty, results in a first down.
First down, Notre Dame.
Well,
as Antoine Davis was flagged.
He was looking for EQ St. Brown in the slot, and that's where the holding occurred, and it's a complete hold. It was a beautifully executed blitz by Texas. They had the quarterback wrapped up, but the ball wasn't out because of the holding penalty.
Good reason to wrap up EQ. He's got 5 receptions, couple of touchdowns, And with Hunter Jr. out, that's the main target. Kaiser.
Ball was tipped by Nashon Hughes, who was dropping into underneath coverage.
Well, he's been incredibly active, hasn't he, Todd?
Yeah, he's got length. I mean, he's got a real wingspan. We saw it on the blocked field goal, and we saw it right there on the tip pass. Because this was going to be a completion. There was a cushion on the outside. The defender was falling down, but Hughes is able to get a hand on the football.
Dexter Williams comes into the backfield now. 2nd and 10. Kaiser's missed his last 4 attempts. And the Longhorns able to get to him that time. Jefferson and Boyette among them.
Well, this is
air looks on. It's been Kaiser's show in this second half.
This is the play of the game so far for the Texas defense right here. To get a stop on 3rd and 8 and force another field goal attempt.
Pressure on him. Lofts it up. Caught. Touchdown, Josh Adams. How about Deshaun Kaiser?
Another beautiful throw, and he had the matchup. Texas comes with a blitz. That means a linebacker, Anthony Wheeler, is responsible for Josh Adams. And the ball again thrown over the outside shoulder to the corner of the end zone. And a touchdown for Notre Dame. Kaiser read the blitz and then beat the blitz with a perfect throw.
Notre Dame comes all the way back. Josh Adams, whose first college carry was a touchdown run against Texas last year. Now, an even bigger moment. Go-ahead score. Deep in the heart of Texas. Irish on top.
ABC's Primetime College Football, presented by Capital One. The Venture Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited double miles you can use on any airline, anytime. And in part by the 2017 Ford Fusion. The beauty of a well-made choice.
Boy, Pylon Cam is getting a good workout tonight between these two tradition-rich programs. Two of the top 3 winningest programs in college football history putting on a show here. 12 national titles and 9 Heismans between them. And right now, it's the Irish with Uncle Mo. 21 unanswered points. They trailed 31-14. And now a 35-31 lead.
Well, Notre Dame only has 3 returning starters this year, but one of them is their best offensive lineman, Mike McGlinchey. Now watch him on this play, because there are going to be 2 guys blitzing, and he's basically responsible for both as the tight end releases. He's going to get enough of a piece of the outside man to give Kaiser time to make that throw. The inside rusher got held up by the tight end, and the outside rusher got a little bit of a push from McGlinchey, just enough for Kaiser to deliver the throw.
You're going to be hearing his name in the first round of the NFL draft next spring. The big guy from Philly. Bouchel quickly out to John Burt, who was able to go ahead for a first down.
And that's a big play, because Texas was held without a first down their last 3 drives. So to get a first down to start this one, very important. I mean, they've got to stay aggressive, and for the first time, they're behind, but they've got to stay with what their plan is.
Hard to believe their first down. Look at that, since 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Consider how they started this second half with a 78-yard touchdown pass to Burt.
Ever since then, Notre Dame has not only controlled the ball, they've controlled the field position.
Flag is down as Foreman took the handoff.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
This is the thing you worry about with a new offense with young receivers. In the case of Gerard Hurd and another guy who we haven't seen tonight, Kai Loxley, are both quarterbacks that moved to receiver this summer. Oh boy.
Better secure that young man, and he does. Inside the 15 as Buechele had a jump on it. 17-yard loss.
Bad snap by the freshman Zach Shackelford. They lined up a guy shading over his outside eye, and that snap was errant to the right.
A freshman center, an early enrollee. He exceeded expectations in spring and fall camp, but a critical moment there. Now 2nd and 31. Delay handoff isn't going anywhere. That's James Onwalu and Isaac Rochelle who shut down Sterling Gilbert's efforts there with his offense.
I'll tell you what, this second half now, Isaac Rochelle has been a man. I mean, he has really come to play. He's used that quickness. He's in the backfield disrupting things. Just gets into the backfield, gets a piece of Foreman before, again, if you can hit these backs or make them change direction before they get a full head of steam, then you can get them to the ground pretty easily.
This is the 3rd time tonight that we've seen Kent Perkins come off the field, Todd. Senior from Dallas who's been around here a long time. Played as a freshman for Mac Brown and that staff.
Well, right now, if you're Shane Buechele on this 3rd down and long, you can't do anything silly. You're still very much in the ball game, even though your offense has hit a bit of a wall.
No, nothing silly on 3rd and 33 there.
Punt the football and hope that your defense can get a stop. Again, one of the things that's been ever since that opening drive where Texas scored, the field position advantage for Notre Dame has been significant. And that starts to wear on you. It really does.
And that guy is a big part of it recently. Let's see if Sanders can get another good punt return here. As he tries to bring it back towards the middle and is taken down at the 25. Well, there's the magic man for the Irish right now. DeShone Kizer back on the field when we return. Stay with us. Hey, next Saturday, we're all going to see Bristol Motor Speedway that's been transformed into the world's largest football venue. It's the Pilot Flying J Battle at Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia Tech. Holly got a taste of life in that fast lane.
What do I do with these?
Hold on.
Hold on. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, they are so brave. The wall is like this close, and it's just...
Holly, that was awesome. First Tennessee, Virginia Tech will be Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC from Bristol Motor Speedway. Kizer to pass on 1st down. And it's incomplete as he wanted Stefferson. How'd you like that ride, Holly?
Well, it was terrifyingly exciting, I will say that. But what I'm impressed with is how they're able to transform that track. It's going to be about 100,000 people there around the track, and it's going to be a football field in the middle. I don't know how they're doing it, but I think it's a really cool idea. And a big shout out to Frank Beamer. I hope he gets to go down there and watch his Hokies play.
Right now, the guy who's been revving the engine is Kizer with 5 total touchdowns, 4 passing for the Irish, giving them the lead here in the 4th quarter. quarterback run. And Malik Jefferson is able to find him at the 29-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd down and an opportunity for this Texas defense to get off the field.
And again, remember, with the absence of Torrey Hunter Jr., you have a very youthful, inexperienced wide receiver group out there. Stefferson, who was targeted on the first play of this drive, is a true freshman out of Jacksonville.
The 3rd and 6. Kaiser with options right at the line. He goes to C.J. Sanders.
Ruling on the Bills catch. 1st down.
That's good work by Sanders, knowing what was needed for the 1st down. Getting beyond the stick and then securing the catch.
Under 7.5 to play. Folston unable to bounce it as Boyette wrapped him up.
Right now, the other thing that Notre Dame is doing is they realize that the clock is on their side. With a 4-point lead, they don't want to sit on the football, but they want to utilize as much of the clock as they can to put as much pressure on the young freshmen in the Texas offense when they do get the ball back.
Adams, nice one cut out just across the 40-yard line. Jefferson with yet another tackle.
Well, that was a nice cut. Really planted that left foot on the ground and went straight north and south inside Poona Ford, bringing up a 3rd down and 5. Texas showing a 3-man rush right here.
Kaiser, can he do it on his own? No, comes up short.
Well, he comes up short, but again, Brian Kelly's team has enjoyed the luxury of field position advantage this whole 2nd half. He wanted the 1st down there, but he knows he still has a chance to pin Texas back and maintain the field position edge.
So the guy they call Savage out to punt away here, see if he can flip this field. Tyler Newsome as Ja'Cory Warwick awaits.
Bad kick.
Yeah, that was an umbrella punt off to the side, and Texas will have decent field position here as it's out close to the 32. So we pose the question, can the young guy, the true freshman, bring Texas back now? Buechel's on deck. Great night to be with us. ABC Primetime College Football presented by Capital One. Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe with you in Austin, Texas, as the stage is now set for Shane Buechel, the freshman quarterback for Texas. As he keeps it, spins, and has a 1st down to start this drive with over 5 minutes to play, trailing by 4.
Well, the first time they've run that play with him with the option to keep, and it gets him out near the 50-yard line. So a good start to this drive. Got plenty of time, and he has 2 timeouts.
Quickly gets it out to Burke. You know, consider they were up by 17 points. Texas 75-0 when leading by 17 or more going back to 2004. But the Irish have come all the way back thanks to Deshaun Kaiser. 75-0 in a span of 12 years when they're up by the margin they were in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5. Quick throw. And Ja'Cory Warwick, who's a quick guy, has a 15-yard reception, and here come the horns.
Notre Dame was coming with an outside blitz. They brought a secondary guy, Julian Love, and Buechele saw it and threw right to the voided area.
Here's Buechele again with time and another reception to the 30-yard line to Foreman.
Now, this is a great start. And look at, just look at Buechele's eyes. There's calmness in his eyes. I like what I see out of him right now as he's marching his team down the field.
Foreman trying to keep his balance, and he does. Just plows ahead for another first down for the Horns.
See, now you notice Texas, with this momentum in the drive, they're not going as fast because they want to use some clock as well.
Buechele. Was that intercepted?
No,
incomplete. Cole Luke made a heck of a play on it.
Incomplete pass. Second down.
We're going to take a peek at this, but they call it incomplete, Todd.
It was really well played by Cole Luke coming over the top. There's the ball on the ground between his legs. Bounces back up to him.
Buechele threw it to the inside and gave Cole Luke a chance. And now a second chance for this Texas offense.
Notre Dame timeout.
Timeout. Notre Dame. Second timeout. Notre Dame wants to challenge the previous play whether the ball was a catch.
No, they're not going to like the result of that challenge.
Bill LeMonnier, I'm assuming that the same rules apply to a defender as a wide receiver on whether a catch is a catch, correct?
A catch is a catch. You've got to control the ball. You got to be inbounds. You got to survive the hit, survive the ground. That ball went right through his hands. He smothered it to the ground.
After review, ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass. Second down.
Good call by the officials. Good call by replay.
And new life for Shane Buechele in this Texas offense. Again, they need a touchdown.
Notre Dame is charged the second timeout of the second half.
Had the challenge been successful, that wouldn't be the case of the timeout, but it leaves them with 3:55 to play. 10th ranked team in the country who absolutely smashed the Longhorns last year, 38-3. It's been a back and forth brawl all night long with a heck of an Irish comeback.
And Texas has answered the one question. Are they going to be more competitive this year? Absolutely.
Foreman on second down. Good block in front. He's inside the 20. It'll be third down from there after the gain of 5. Sebastian with the tackle.
The next question, do they have what it takes to find a way to win a game like this? They've played well. They've played well enough to win in a lot of ways, but they've got to figure it out right here.
Here's third down. What a run that time by Deontay Foreman. Blocked. The extra point blocked. It can be returned. Are you kidding me? Sean Crawford. Oh, my. A flag is down. We will check on that.
I think it was Rochelle who got his hand on the football. He's been in the backfield against the offense. That time he was in the backfield against the kick.
During the return, sideline interference against the Texas bench. That 15-yard penalty being forced on the kick. The 2 points stand.
In one of the oddest ways you could ever dream up to tie a game, it just happened. Welcome back, college football. Give me more. Sean Crawford, incredible return off this blocked extra point.
Kick was low. Crawford picks it up on the hop. And the interference on the Texas bench, this play was running down the Notre Dame sideline. So all I can think is they got in the way of an official running down the field and made contact. There's the block. And it bounces right up to Sean Crawford. Rochelle was in there, and Jerron Jones, number 94. Both of those guys had penetration. I think it might have been Jones who got his hand on it.
6'5½", senior, got up, was able to get it.
And the thing that penalty ensures is that Notre Dame should be able to again force a long field situation for the Texas offense.
Can you believe how we have arrived at 37-37, Todd? Of all the ways you could dream it up, try to come up with that one. And there was confusion, by the way, prior to the snap there.
Well, the official looks at the clock, and then he looks to the ball. And if the ball is moving when it hits 0, they don't make a call.
Holly, what says you?
Well, when they were getting ready to line up for that attempt, Connor Williams, the offensive tackle, tried to find him and get him running out there late. So the play clock was almost down to 1 when they kicked the ball. He had to rush the kick because Williams was late getting out there in his position.
And also was Alex Anderson, the backup to Kent Perkins, who was playing that left guard spot that Jerron Jones just blew up and was able to get his big arm up.
A really costly penalty as Notre Dame's going to get good field position to
Sanders
start.
fields it from the 11 to your point, Todd, and gets it out near the 29-yard line. 3:23 to play in an outrageously entertaining game here in Austin. And I don't think that young man is fazed at all. He has been awesome. DeShone Kizer, 4 touchdown passes and a touchdown run for the Irish. Brought them all the way back. Then Texas came back. And then special teams wackiness has us tied. Folston wrapped up, spun, and a minimum gain as Malik Jefferson gets to him.
You know, just remember, Notre Dame in that last possession defensively had to use a timeout. There was some confusion, so they used their second timeout. So right now, with 3 minutes left in the game, they only have 1 timeout left.
Coach's challenge on what they thought was an interception cost them the timeout. Under 3 minutes to play. Play action. Kizer. He is going to go down. That was P.J. Locke coming in from that nickel spot. 3rd sack of the night for Texas.
It was play action away, and P.J. Locke is coming unblocked to the outside. And Kizer doesn't pick him up until too late. They fooled DeShone Kizer with that outside pressure.
This is a wall of sound. Take it in. 3rd and 12. Conservative. And they'll be punting as we're under 2 minutes.
Timeout, Texas. That's their second timeout in the second half.
So Texas wisely uses the timeout, holds on to one. They'll be getting the ball back. A minute 56 remains. Monday Night Football's coming back with a good one. The doubleheader of Week 1. Steelers-Redskins going to get going at 6:55 Eastern. Then at 10:15 West Coast, you got Niners and Rams. And coverage begins September 12th with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN.
How interesting is it, Joe, that for Texas on this possession, it could come down if they hit a couple plays to a field goal attempt by a kicker that they had no idea that they were even going to have. They thought kicking was going to be a major problem, and out of nowhere, they end up with Trent Domain as a graduate transfer from LSU, and he might have a chance to win the biggest game here in Austin in a long time.
Let's see if he gets that chance. Newsome to punt. Warwick heels on his 30. Calls for the fair catch around the 32. Plenty of time, the one timeout, and the youth and confidence of Shane Buechele. They put together a nice looking drive last time out. But the blocked PAT and the return by Crawford has Charlie Strong sitting there staring at 37-37. Can the new kid in town do it? Let's find out. They're going to start on the ground with Foreman, who gets to the edge and rips off a pretty good one. He's out to the 48-yard line, 15 yards on first down.
123 yards on the night now on 21 carries for Foreman.
They're going to stay with him as he crosses midfield, a gain of 4. Greer Martini able to corral him. And we got 90 seconds remaining in regulation in this thriller. Will Domain get his chance? He was set to be the starter at LSU. Les says, I'm going to need that scholarship. Got to be a walk-on. He said, no thanks. Shane Buechele wiggling and weaving his way inside the 35.
Clock stops while they move the chains, and nice adjustment by Buechele. He wanted to throw it. It wasn't there. He tucked it and went straight up the field for a big first down.
By the way, Domain's career long is 45 yards. So they got some work to do to make him comfortable. Flag comes in here.
Chop block, number 77 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Very costly penalty because they were moving closer to field goal range. And now they're outside of it with just under a minute left to play. Patrick Vahe, number 77.
They're bringing the ball back to the 49-yard line. One timeout remains, but it's 1st and 25. Bad snap again, and Texas all of a sudden is going in the wrong direction, Todd.
Well, now at this point, if you're Charlie Strong, you got to think, do I start thinking about overtime now, or do I take one more big shot here?
Clock is counting down. Half a minute in regulation. Play action. Buechele taking his time and throwing it away. So a couple times tonight it's been the freshman center off the mark. Freshman quarterback for the most part's been right on that target.
Well, that chop block penalty really took it out of them. It really took the wind out of their sails. They were moving. They had momentum. And now they've been going backwards ever since.
Buechele, downfield he goes, complete! No, they're saying he's out. As
on the field, incomplete pass, 4th down.
As a Monty Foreman tried to tiptoe the sidelines. Oh, you saw that foot already stepped on the white, and he was pulled way out to the side. That Texas bench was crowding that sideline, blocking our view from up here. Nobody's back for Notre Dame.
They're in a safe punt formation.
As this is skied into the end zone, and 7 ticks will remain. You enjoying being back to work, my friend?
Yeah, this is pretty fun.
Well, that kid's pretty fun to watch, isn't he? Kaiser's been something in this second half. Who's up for overtime? Don't go anywhere. Join in the fun for a little longer. Down here in Austin, Texas, ABC Primetime College Football presented by Capital One will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Tonight down here in Austin, number 10 Notre Dame, who trailed by 17, rallied back. Texas answered, and then one of the oddest plays you'll ever seen. An extra point blocked and returned for a 2-point conversion to get us to overtime.
All right, guys, each team will get possession in the overtime. Notre Dame has used their challenge, so they would all have a challenge. Each team will have 1 timeout. If you go to a 3rd overtime and you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2. All right. The winner of the toss will have the option of offense, defense, or the end of the field. Notre Dame, you're the visitors. What's your call? Tails. He's called tails. It is tails. Notre Dame, you won the toss. Right. Offense, defense, or end of the field? Defense. They want defense. Which end of the field do you want to play on?
We want to defend that end zone.
Which end of the field do you want to play? Be 1st and 10 for you, 25. All right, turn your back here. Texas will have the first possession, 1st and 10 to the 25.
So coin toss advantage Notre Dame. They'll know exactly what they have to do, how they have to match in that first overtime. What a weekend of college football, my partner.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. And you know, a couple kicking mistakes. Either team probably sitting there thinking we could have won this game, should have found a way to win the game. As it is, we go to overtime. And, you know, both teams in the overtime have what it takes because they've had good run and pass balance. You know, I don't just favor Kaiser because he's a little older. I think Buechele's played above his years. He's played as a mature guy. Plus, you wonder, Texas also has the 18-wheeler package that might come into effect in the red zone in the goal line.
Todd, that's a great point. The shortened field, they've had success with swoops running the ball. The big bodies in the backfield. We'll see if that's what we get at some point here. How deep into the night will we go? Buechele to pass on 1st down, and he gets it complete to Warwick, who gets free and is just tripped up. But it's going to be 1st and goal, Texas, a 20-yard pitch and catch.
Boy, really quick feet by Warwick. Eludes the one defender and almost takes it into the end zone on the first play.
Great start for Buechele. Foreman was met. Tried to bounce free, but finally it was on Walu and Martini bringing him to the ground.
Here comes Swoops. No, I thought they were going to bring him in. He was moving up towards Sterling Gilbert, but they changed their mind. 2nd and goal.
Freshman quarterback inside the 5, taken down by Rochelle as Shane Buechele. Such a big moment. And here comes that 18-wheeler. You hear the crowd with the Swoops call. Big boys are coming in. Little freshmen coming out. Loaded backfield with a whole lot of heavies.
Notre Dame trying to run a guy on late.
Play clock down to 5. 3rd and goal. Swoops into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
It's a counter play. The guard and the tight end are going to lead, and Swoops is going to get right in behind him. Good blocking at the point of attack. A 250-pound quarterback. And Texas scores first in overtime.
Well, they better block well here on this extra point.
Now remember last time it was Rochelle with the penetration, and Jerron Jones, number 94, got his hand on the football. They're right there in the middle.
Up and through. So a touchdown margin. Notre Dame has to match. Reminder, we invite you to stay tuned for the Ford wrap-up after this thriller. Look at that bounce in that step. He's got that giddy up. Natural-born winner is Shane Buechele. And Tyrone Swoops has played his role.
He has, and I'm impressed with his maturity in handling this situation, handling a young freshman quarterback starting ahead of him and being ready to play his role well when his number was called.
But the Irish, the whole second half, their offense has found a way. Kaiser trying to set up the screen. C.J. Sanders inside the 10. Oh, we may have a second overtime if an extra point can go in here.
Kaiser had to double clutch this. He wasn't able to throw it when he first wanted to. Watch Kaiser start to throw, pull it back down, and then reload. Good execution as the lineman got downfield. Equanimous St. Brown with a nice block at the point of attack.
Remember, Justin Yoon had a field goal attempt blocked in the 3rd quarter for a second overtime.
Well, the Texas defense will be right back on the field.
44-44. And they'll turn it right around. Head back out there. A lot of folks had a sense that this was the most improved team in college football, Texas. And everybody knew that Notre Dame was loaded with blossoming talent to go with some capable veterans and a true playoff contender. And it has been a brilliant matchup here in Austin.
About an hour ago, I think, I asked you the question and made the point that Texas has already proven that they're a different team. They're more competitive. They are going to be a player in the Big 12 this year. Now, the question is, can they find a way to win a game like this? It's right there for their taking. Obviously, Notre Dame's not going to give it to them. But do they have what it takes to find a way to win a game of this magnitude?
And can Charlie Strong's defense find a way to slow down Deshaun Kaiser, who has 5 touchdown passes and 1 rushing? A 6-touchdown night after weeks of hearing nothing but 2-quarterback system. You won't be hearing that any longer. There's your man right there. Second overtime. Here we go. Speed option right. Keeps met forward to the 20-yard line. A gain of 5. Malik Zaire looks on. Notre Dame faithful hope that Kaiser keeps moving on here in our second overtime. Adams wrapped up by Paul Boyette.
Boyette just slipped right around the block of the left guard. I mean, there was a guy assigned to him. Quentin Nelson just whiffed. And Boyette, with quickness, got into the backfield for a loss of yardage play.
Third and 7, overthrown as they tried to come across to Kevin Stefferson.
I think it was Malik Jefferson came right into the throwing view of Deshaun Kaiser on that throw. The ball sailed over his intended receiver. Jefferson came on an inside stunt and affected the throw with his body.
So now the field goal attempt by Justin Yoon. Had one blocked earlier, was sensational at the end of his freshman season. And Justin puts it through nice and smooth. But will a 3-point lead hold up in double overtime? Been a long time since history for a youngin's been made down here in Texas. A true freshman hasn't won a game. Started at quarterback for the Longhorns going back to 44. Bobby Lane. But now that opportunity exists for Shane Buechele.
And remember, this offense that came from the Art Briles Baylor offense is a power run and vertical pass game.
Low snap, able to get it off as Foreman makes his way to just short of the 20. Shackelford has to be steady.
Yep.
He's had a few errant snaps. 2nd and 5. Here goes Shane, trying to pull a defender forward. And it'll be 3rd and about a yard as Sterling Gilbert.
The crowd started calling for Swoops before he came running on the field.
You got 102,000 offensive coordinators here tonight, Todd. So the 18-wheeler package comes in on 3rd and 1. Here goes Swoops. Easily stood up to it. Inside the 10, fighting his way down to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Horns.
There are Notre Dame bodies on the ground. And just Tyrone Swoops running with great power and authority. Remember now, fresh legs too. He hasn't played as many snaps as either Shane Buechele or Deshaun Kaiser. And he is fresh running the football.
He's got 50 pounds on Avery Sebastian, and Avery Sebastian is still down. This has been a brilliant changeup at times from Sterling Gilbert. Of Buechele in the passing game, the running game with Foreman and Warren, and then every so often, when you're just feeling it, here comes the 18-wheeler.
Now remember, Avery Sebastian is playing in there because one of the players that was arrested and was actually dismissed from the team, Max Redfield, was the starting safety. And he is probably the guy they missed the most during that situation. Avery Sebastian in there playing a 6th-year guy out of McDonough, Georgia, down right now. So they'll be down to another young safety. I'm guessing it would be Devin Studstill, number 14, who is a true freshman from Riviera Beach, Florida.
So the medical staff assessing Avery Sebastian. He's seen a lot of college football. The 6-year senior who was a grad transfer from Cal. We will check on Avery when we return. Texas with a chance here in double overtime. So Avery able to walk off the field here. Todd, take a look at what happened on the back end of this play beyond Swoops coming at him.
Yeah, well, first he hit Swoops, and then at the end of the play, he's going to get leg whipped by his own guy, and intentionally, Jerry Tillery, the 6'5", 310-pound tackle. Good to see him up on his own and walking to the sideline. Yeah, I think you keep Swoops in right now because you still have Foreman as a running option. If the quarterback runs, Foreman becomes an extra blocker, as he has been most of the time when Swoops is in the ball game.
A touchdown wins it for the Longhorns. First and goal. Good play by Rochelle.
You have to get penetration behind the line of scrimmage and stop Swoops or Foreman, or Warren for that matter, before they get a full head of steam. They're too big and powerful if they get their shoulders turned upfield and get some momentum behind them.
Swoops dancing for the win. Texas is back, folks.
What a great job by Swoops eluding a free rusher. Jerry Tillery, number 99, comes unblocked. Swoops sidesteps him and then sets up the block by his guard, Vahe, and then reaches the ball across the plane before the knee touches. Incredible individual effort by Tyrone Swoops. First to elude an unblocked man, and then to get the ball across the goal line.
After review, ruling on the field confirmed, touchdown, game over.
And let that be a lesson to every young man out there looking for playing time. That's a senior, staying the course, buying went in and still contributing with a freshman taking his starting job.
Yeah, when you talk about team chemistry, when you talk about changes and everybody buying in, it has to start with your older guys. And Tyrone Swoops is to be commended for the way he's handled his situation this year and how he played tonight.
With 3 rushing touchdowns on a night where they went back and forth with thrills and chills, a lot of drama, and a fabulous finish. Holly.
Well, Tyrone, on a night that you could have been disappointed because you didn't get the start, how were you able to keep your mind in this and be there for your team when they needed you most?
Has a role in their team, and that little running package, that's my role. And when I get a chance to go in, I'm going to do all I can to go secure the game and win the game.
As you were standing on the sideline, you had your helmet on, not once, but twice in overtime. They call you to run out on the field. What are you thinking as you run out there?
They were just telling me to be ready. So naturally, I was ready. And when they called my number, we were able to perform and come out with the win.
As you run into the end zone on that last play, what was the play and how did you do it?
It was just a little misdirection. And everybody got their blocks up front. We always say, do your job. Everybody did their job, and we came out with a big one tonight.
Well, Tyrone, all the eyes of Texas on not one but 2 quarterbacks. Back to this young man here, Shane. How were you able to keep your team in this game? A true freshman getting your first start at Texas.
This was just a really exciting game. Back and forth. We had a really good third quarter and kind of got stopped a little bit late in the third quarter. We just stayed calm and had trust in my guys, and everybody came through. Everybody did their job and ended up with the dub.
Going back all the way to the beginning of the game, what did you think when Coach Strong told you you were going to be the starter at Texas tonight?
I was very excited. Everybody worked hard for this moment, and just an exciting game, and glad we came out with the win.
I'm going to grab your coach, Charlie Strong. And Coach Strong, you told me before the game, you're looking around and you thought, it's never been like this at Texas before in your tenure. What does this mean for you to win it in front of a record crowd?
Oh, it's so big for us, and the way we wanted against a outstanding opponent in Notre Dame. And for our guys just to compete, and they played the whole game. Got a big lead, we squandered it away, but we were able to come back. And I told Swoops before the game, I said, Bouchel's going to start, but you know what? You can have your opportunity. And they made big dividends with it.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone manage 2 quarterbacks so effectively down the stretch, including in overtime. How'd you do it?
Oh, it's just our offensive staff has done a great job. And the good thing about these 2 guys, they respect one another so much. So it was easy for that to happen. But you know what? I'm so proud of our football team. I'm so proud of just how they just continue to play. Even when we were down, they continue to play.
The coach, or the players, up in the air. What did that make you think to have your players hoist you like that, like a hero?
Well, you know what? I just tell them all the time, I believe in them. I believe in my players, and I believe in what we're doing here. And it's going to change eventually. We just got to continue to play together. One game doesn't make a season, but we have a lot more ball. We're going to enjoy this one.
The fans won't forgive me if I don't ask. Moving forward, can you keep this quarterback system working so effectively?
Oh, we can, because you know what? The way we practice, they had reps, but we had it. It will happen.
All right, thank you both. Congratulations.
Just awesome to see the respect and the care for their head coach as the players celebrate there. Charlie Strong, who has gone about this trying to build it the right way, putting the bricks in the foundation, laying it down. Yeah, there have been the losses, only 11 wins in the first 2 years. But this, my friend, is a signature win now.
It really is an outstanding win, a team win. They could have folded on many different occasions, and they just kept battling. They kept finding a way. And, I just am impressed with Sterling Gilbert and the offense and the package and the way he managed both quarterbacks, the way both quarterbacks played. This was an offense last year that only scored 26 points a game, only gained 370 yards, 50 points, 517 yards tonight of offense. They played a freshman quarterback. And Charlie Strong took a little bit of a risk going with a guy. It was his 4th play caller in 3 years, a young guy. He turned the offense over to him. Charlie works with the defense. He lets Sterling run the offense, and it paid dividends tonight.
Here on the Ford wrap-up show on the heels of the 50-47 double overtime victory by Texas. over number 10 Notre Dame. Todd, there's always that team every year that's off the board. People aren't hyping up, not ranked in college football that comes out of nowhere. Do you have faith that that team this year in college football could be Texas?
Well, you know, we talked about this early in the game, that I'm not going to make too much out of one game. And Charlie just told Holly that. One game doesn't make a season. It was a great first game, and they deserve to really enjoy this. But they got to get ready for a game on a short week next week, you know, the next one that comes to town. I do think this. I think Texas has served notice they're a different team than they've been, and they'll be a player in the Big 12 Conference.
Where does this leave Notre Dame?
They're still a good football team.
No doubt.
You know, they got to do some work on defense. They got to shore some things up. They got to tighten some things up in their defense. But Deshaun Kaiser is the real deal, and they can run the football. They got to get those young receivers back and making plays and a part of what they're doing. But I think they still have a big season ahead of them.
Kaiser was awesome tonight in leading the comeback. Remember, they trailed by 17. He had 5 touchdowns passing and 1 touchdown on the ground. But in the end, it was the 18-wheeler. Swoops with 2 touchdowns in overtime. The game winner from 6 yards out. As you've been watching, the Ford wrap-up presented by the new 2017 Ford Escape. Be unstoppable. The moment of truth. Getting free and going in. Tyrone Swoops, the senior who's been through so much, the ups and downs of Texas football, and now a mighty high. For Holly and Todd, I'm Joe Tessitore, asking you to enjoy the rest of your night. Texas topples the Irish here at home.
Microphone, take the sip of Gatorade. Actually, he'll probably chug that thing. He's deserved it. Now meeting with the Texas media following the double OT win.
You know, a great team victory by our team, and you know, just love the way that we just played, and we came out. We had energy from the very beginning, and then we got up by 17, and then they were able to come back and recapture the lead. And I said a year ago that we probably would have lost that football game, because we wouldn't have known how to finish, and we wouldn't have known how to continue to just play through. And they have so much confidence in one another that you watch this, and we got the score back on offense. Then we end up, you know, getting the extra point block, and then they tied the score back up. But we had a great kickoff, and we were able to pin them down, and we didn't allow them to just drive the ball and get the field goal to go win the game. You know, those 2 quarterbacks, you know, I had a conversation with them, and I told Swoops, I said, actually, with both of them, I told him, I said, Bouchel's going to start. And I said, Swoops, you know what's going to happen in this game? I said, you're going to have an opportunity to go win this football game for us. And you look what he did. And he came in there with his 18-wheeler package, and we knew that he was going to play. He was just, you look at that freshman, and he played an unbelievable game. You look at what Swoops did. You know, John Burt drops a long one, and then the one off of Petey's hands that, you know, caused that interception. But just the poise that he has, and then, you know, you look at Swoops. And a lot of times when you get a senior, a lot of them can actually go the other way and kind of become a problem. But Swoops told him, he said, listen, I'm behind you. And, you know, anything that happens, I'm going to be there for you. Anytime we need to have a conversation, you just come, because I'm going to be on the sideline, and I'm going to be there to help you. But it's just the way this team has beginning to just come together, and you just feel that how they have so much respect for one another. But we needed tonight to get this program back in the spotlight. And this is a big win for us to get the program headed back. I know one game does not make a season. We have many more to go, but this is a great start for us. And just from where we've been, a record crowd. And I told our coaches, I said, just make the game plan easy, because the crowd is going to allow us to play with the passion that we have. And the players, they're going to play off of it. You know, I was teasing them. The preparation yesterday is the first time I ever seen it. The guys, that we were meeting, they didn't say anything. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with this team? Usually some guys are joking around. Then this morning at pregame, I had to say something to them. I said, okay, then y'all don't want to talk. Let me get it started. Let me tell some jokes. And then, Hurd comes walking in. He says, Coach, let me stand up here by you. Because I always start a meeting with a clap. I always clap, and then I start a meeting. And Hurd said, let me do the clap because I'm nervous, but I'm not scared, though. I'm nervous, but I'm not scared. I said, it's all right to be nervous because usually when you have the knot in your stomach, then that means you're going to go out and go play well. And that was great tonight. It was just fun to watch that team and how it just fought back. I just knew that the second overtime, we had a chance. I said, we're going to go on defense first. I said, I just need the defense to hold them to a field goal because we're going to score a touchdown. And I said, get Swoops in there. Let's run behind him and let him. Did you see that one run? He ran over two guys. One guy ended up being taken off the field. I hope he's okay. But then he goes in with the touchdown and scores. But what a great win tonight. I mean, it was just amazing just to see our crowd. I'm so happy for our fans because they needed it. Our fans really needed that. But, we've been down for so long and people have been talking about us. And it was a night for us to just make it right. For at least for one game, Davis. What do you think? For one? Yes, for one game. But I'm so proud of our football team.
Charlie, you did a good job of not listening to us about the quarterback issue. What was your thought process as the game unfolded as to whether you're going to go with Buechele, go with Swoops? What was the thinking as to the situation, and then what made you want to go with the 18-wheeler at the end?
Well, if you watch the game, I think it's, when we first started off, if you watch Buechele, he was throwing the deep balls, and, first one we had dropped, but he was just making the throws, and we didn't want to just pull him. We wanted him to get a rhythm with the game. And then we brought the 18-wheeler package in there, and then Swoops were able just to run the ball. I think we had an 17 or 18-play drive with Swoops in the game. But it wasn't like we were just going to settle on one guy. We were going to make sure that, hey, let's roll these quarterbacks, and we have packages for them. The one, I said, hey, Sterling, let's throw a deep one. And Swoops threw the ball. I said, oh, God, he's not going to be warmed up. This ball's going to sail out of bounds. And it sailed out of bounds. It hit the white. I said, but it was just, so much can be said about Swoops and just for him to be the person he is. And I told him that this morning we did our team walk, and I said, hey, come and walk with me. And I said, I just want you to feel like this now. I don't want you to be upset that the young guy's in there, but you're going to have your chance. You're going to have your opportunity, but you're a special person to handle this situation the way you're handling it.
Charlie, after such a high-profile win, how do you keep the team's energy up for the game next week to make sure that they don't sit on their laurels?
Well, what we have to do as a coaching staff, we have to realize a lot of us have been in big games, and we have to make sure that we can go out and practice and make sure that our kids do stay focused, because it is. And I told them that they're going to have tomorrow's off. Tomorrow is off because we played on Sunday. Someone give Monday off and then get ready to go back to work on Tuesday. But I think that with our leadership now, with our seniors, I'm going to talk to them and just make sure, hey, let's make sure that we don't all of a sudden start feeling good about ourselves and then we lose our confidence.
Charlie, we just talked to the governor, and he said the only thing that topped this for him was Vince Young running into the end zone in 2005. You weren't around then, but does this feel like some sort of turning of the corner with 14 weeks, to go in the season?
Well, Dennis, you look at it, and you love to see that. You always need a signature win, and where's that signature win? And you hope that you can get one where it gets you going. Even last year, you go beat Oklahoma, and you felt like, okay, we have 7 more games into the season. Now we beat this team, and this is one of the top teams in our conference. Now maybe we can go out and play well these final 7 weeks, which we didn't do. But we just you have a different team now. You have a small group of seniors that provide so much leadership, and then you have a young group where you have a large amount of sophomores and freshmen, and they don't know any better. A lot of times with young guys, those guys have so much confidence, so much flair about them. They're just going to go out there and say, hey, just throw it to me. I can beat a guy deep, or I can do this. And you're hoping that we'll be able to maintain that. But it's our senior class and what they did. And even up to this point, just how hard they worked from January to now.
Charlie, as much as you've been through, you've talked so much about this thing flipping, and you've said that word over and over. When did you know Or when did you at least get the sense with this team that things had flipped and this would be a different team this year?
You know what happened this summer when we had a chance to just work with our guys in the days that we have? You just felt like now when we brought in that class that we just brought in, and you just saw the big bodies and you saw just athletic guys, but you saw a very confident group of players. And I think it kind of just, that group kind of rubbed off onto our players that we had already in the program. And then the players in the program, they say, oh my God, Coach, we're big now. We're really big. And they start getting a little confidence about themselves. Like Perkins, he don't say much at all. And Perk actually, he sits right here. And one day he stood up in a meeting here and he said, listen, guys, there's no more excuses in our program now. We have talent. We're young, but that's not an excuse either. You young guys going to have to step up and play. Even tonight, if you look at tonight, you had a freshman in Bouchel, and then you had a freshman center. And on the defensive side of the ball, you rode Roach, but you didn't have many freshmen playing tonight. You had a fair amount of, 2-year guys, 3-year guys that have been in the program that played.
Coach, you talked about before the game, it's like these freshmen aren't going to know what's going on. They're going to be out of their head. Yet Bouchel, the way he performed, he looked so mature. Can you talk about how pleased you are with his performance and going forward that 2 quarterbacks can actually really work for you?
I called Bouchel's mom, Nancy, on it had to be Saturday night, and I told her, I said, hey, listen, I think that the decision is fine. I'm gonna go with your son, and he was standing next to me, and he said, what's she doing? I said, I think she's crying. He's like, oh God, I told you she would, Coach. And I said, but let me say this, you better not let her down. But the confidence that he has, and that's why I talked about him this summer, like he's always had that confidence, but he has a respect for his other teammates. Like some guys are kind of cocky and they kind of rub you the wrong way, and guys don't want to associate with them. They're just hoping they fall on their face. But as with him, all the players, they have so much respect for him. When we talk about just the different games that we play, and he's always around them. Like that is one, he's always around. You'll see him in this building, he's always around. And you just knew that he could handle it. Like this stage wouldn't be too big. Because I said to him in the beginning, I said, okay, what do you think? He said, well, when I first run out there, Coach, I think I'm going to be a little nervous, but let me settle down. I said, well, you're going to turn around and hand that ball off anyway, so you're not going to throw it deep, okay? So we don't have to worry about that. You are not underthrow anyone, and you would not throw the ball over their head. You're going to turn around and hand that ball off. But you may hand it off the first 2 times. I think he did. And then once he got settled down and he's just one, like sometimes there's a player that comes through, there's a special player, and he's one of those players.
Coach, first year you lost Dom Espinosa and David Ash in the first game, and this was an emergency going into this week. Last year on the road at Notre Dame, it was tough. This year, what's your messaging to the team coming out of this, where you beat a top 10 team and you got some positive momentum?
Well, I just told him that one game doesn't make a season, and that we have a lot of games left, and we just got to continue to just build on this game and just continue to we have to get better. And let's not all of a sudden let everybody pat ourselves on the back and say, hey, it was a great win. But still, though, there's a lot more games to go play. And if we just rest on this game, then all of a sudden allow someone to slip up on us, then this game won't mean as much. And that's why we got to continue to build on it. And I think that with the group of guys that we have, they'll come back to work. And plus, the coaching staff, they can't rest on it themselves. And we as a coaching staff, we got to make sure that we don't lose our edge and we continue to coach hard and do a better job of coaching tonight. We had to do a better job of what we did from what we did tonight.
Good start for Sterling Gilbert in this G-Force Texas offense. Gilbert averaged 33 points per game in his last 2 stops as a coordinator on the FBS level. The debut, albeit in double overtime, half 100 on the board against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Here is the OC with Alex Loeb.
Here with Horns offensive coordinator Sterling Gilbert. Sterling, I couldn't help but think Shane Bouchel reminds me a little bit of a quarterback who used to start for Angelo State about 15 years ago by the name of Sterling Gilbert. What do you like about Bouchel's game?
He just carries a lot of intangible things about him, and obviously just his leadership, his ability, what he's able to do, and go out and execute at a high level, which he did tonight, and within all that, remain calm in front of the crowd, and the things that come with being a first game starter. as a true freshman. So very excited about it.
What did you think overall the way your offense executed tonight?
Extremely, extremely proud of our kids. I can't say that enough. That was a huge team win tonight, huge team win. So just the adversity that we fought through on both sides, and guys just continue to fight, continue to battle to go execute on both sides of the ball. And, we got that result at the end of the game. But just speaking offensively, proud of those kids, same deal. I mean, they fought and battled through some adversity and some 3-and-outs and stuff like that. So it's about steady progression with us. It always has been, always will be. Just continue to get better. But those kids just continue to fight. They continue to battle. They stay together. They play together. Then we got the result we got at the end.
Finally, how did it feel in your first game being in this atmosphere at DKR tonight?
It was huge. Obviously, being from the state of Texas, being a former Texas high school football coach, and here you said at the University of Texas, and a big-time game against Notre Dame. Just to go out, it was a special night, a special evening, a special moment, and then you just, you put the cherry on top with a win.
Happy for you. Congratulations, Coach.